You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona.
Hi! Welcome to the Question Reality. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking over here. Oh my gosh, I don't know why they put on the iPads, why they put the darn camera thing over here. So I'm looking here, so I can't see myself, which I can just see myself. I'm looking here, but you can't look there. You have to look over here. So now I don't know what the hell's going on that side of the screen, but okay, we'll just try it. I put a little mirror to fix that problem. I put a little mirror right by the little camera hole so that I can see myself at least, but unfortunately I can't see the guests at all while they're talking. It's a total bummer. Oh, they need to fix that. All right. Again, welcome to the Question Reality Radio Show. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host of the show, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. And what we do on this show is we provide entertainment industry career advice. And that's for anyone who's considering a career in show business, or if you're already working in the entertainment industry and you're just looking for tips, advice, and resource information on how and what it takes to elevate your career or to actually pursue the career. Now, our guest on this show, always very exciting in my opinion, but it might be biased. Okay. So there are Oscar nominees, we have Grammy nominees, Grammy winners too. We have nominees and winners, Grammy nominees, Grammy winners. We have Tony Award winners. We have reality TV stars, and just a very diverse range of people who work in the entertainment industry, along with all types of show business professionals that work at various levels in their career. Film, television, theater, dance, the world of dance, Broadway. You name it. If they're working in the entertainment industry, we're going to have them on our show just for you. Now, archive pages. Yes, people often send me emails and want to know, where can they see my past shows? Well, here are some ways that you can see all of the guests. As you know, we've been on the air for over 20 years, so there's a lot of shows. We were able to get most of them, I'd say 95% of them on, but I used to produce a television show and for 6 years, and we weren't able to get all of the guests on from that show. A lot of people are writing in and saying, remember when I was on your show back in 2003? No, I do remember you, but unfortunately it was on tape back then, so we're working on it. All right, so you can see our past shows on our YouTube channel, and you go there and type Priscilla Leona, at Priscilla Leona. On Facebook, you type Question Reality Radio Show. Let's see, our website, which is questionrealityradioshow.com, questionrealityradioshow.com. And we're also on LinkedIn, X, TikTok, you name it, every social media site we're on. And it's very easy to find us or me, because as I say every single week, as you know, I'm like a broken record with this. Branding. Please keep it consistent. People cannot find you when you have 3 different names, right? When people meet you at a networking party, they want to know, oh, gee, who was that girl I met? Oh, yeah, Priscilla Leona. I'm going to Google, type Priscilla Leona, boom, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. It's all under my name, because branding is very, very, very important. People have a 5-second attention span, and they don't want to be doing any research. And don't do any cute names like Debbie did Dallas, but now she's directing bunny films. Okay, no, don't do cute names. Swirly Sam, Petunia, Priscilla Petunia. Something you have to really, really lock it in. Very important. Now, ask you for a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini favor, and that is, if you like our show, like our guests, please either subscribe on our YouTube channel, or give us a little follow or a like or a little thumb up. Everybody wants a little thumb these days. Used to be a finger, but now it's a thumb. So please make sure that you subscribe. And what we will reciprocate. We will, because we have a person that looks at all the people that have subscribed and liked our channels, and we go back and we will do it for you too. I feel like I'm floating away. You ever feel like that? Like you talk so much, you get lightheaded and you feel like you're floating away. I don't know. I feel like that today. I don't know. It's very weird. Now, booked. If you want to be booked on our show, if you want to appear on our entertainment industry career advice show to promote your product, showcase your films or books or just yourself, here's how you do it. Go to the website, questionrealityradioshow.com, questionrealityradioshow.com, and you just go to the contact link. Very, very easy. Just your name, your email, a website, and we will get back to you, and you will be put on the I Love Lucy assembly line. You will be vetted and you will be on your way. All right, that's it. Now, that's it for the introduction part of the show. Now, exciting. I want to do a shout out to my friend Alan Hooper, A-list casting director for Frasier, Superior Donuts, Modern Family. Remember the huge hit Modern Family? He was so nice to me. He was on my show a couple weeks ago, and he had told me that, I had wanted to be on a show as an extra for a Christmas show. So he told me they had just finished filming that, but he asked me if I wanted to come to be a VIP guest at a taping. So of course I said yes, and tomorrow we're going to tape. Well, we're going to a VIP. I swear I'm losing my mind today. We're going to a Frasier taping. I told him I didn't even know Frasier was back. I was a huge fan back in the day of the original Frasier, but then of course the series ended. And I didn't even know that they were back, but they are back, and it continues with the story of Frasier, but now I think he's teaching as a professor in Harvard, and it's all new people, and they have some guest appearances like from BB Newworth, who used to be a regular on the show, and Roz, gosh, forgive me, I can't remember her name, but it is as funny as ever. So I am excited about going tomorrow. I'll let you know how it is next week. Now, lastly, I would like to talk about my very good friend, Mary Lou Belli. She, if you don't know who she is, she's a multiple Emmy award-winning director, and her career just spans 30 years. She's worked in various genres, film and television and theater, and some of her sitcoms, or her notable shows rather, include the Miss Pat Show, which is huge right now. I think she was nominated for her second Emmy for directing one of the shows. She's got multiple nominations for that. All I know, I think 2, but it could be 3. She directed regularly on NCIS New Orleans, Black Lightning, Bull, Sweet Legacy, Sweet Magnolias, Station 19, Heart of Dixie, Wizards of Waverly Place, Sister, Girlfriends, The Game 12, just endless. Go to imdb.com and look her up, Mary Lou Belli, Belli. And in addition to her work behind the camera, what I wanted to tell you about is she's also an accomplished author of many entertainment industry career books. And I wanted to tell you about her 3rd edition of Actors Tell the Story. Now, I have 2 of her books because I was in her master acting class. Actually, I don't have that one. Okay, well, I gotta get one of those. All right, so it's their 3rd edition of Actors Tell the Story, and it's available for purchase on Amazon.com and on her website directly, maryloubelli.com. And and I want to tell you about this other one. It's called the new sitcom career book, and this is an incredible book if you are pursuing a career as an actor and you specifically want to be on sitcoms. And let me just tell you, like, here's the first. I'll only read you a couple. Like the chapter 1, it's okay, how to prepare for an audition, accessing information on a show, analyzing a sitcom script, how to learn by watching, do's and don'ts for auditioning, why K's and P's are funny. I didn't even know that until I took the class. How to make strong, memorable choices, what to wear to an audition, how to get your script read, advice for getting the job, audition tips, how a director prepares, career profile of a sitcom casting director. And I'm telling you, this book, actually all of her books, they are the blueprints. They are the Bibles of the industry, the entertainment industry. And this is another one that I have, which is Directors Tell the Story. And this book, oh my God, let me just tell you, this, if you are an aspiring director of film or television, you have to have this book. I cannot. Okay, let me just read just in a couple chapters. Breaking down the script for story, breaking down the script for character, casting, production design, scouting locations, organizing the shoot with the first assistant director, sharing the vision, blocking and shot listing part 1 and part 2, directing the actor, below the line, all the other stuff, running the set, and it just goes on and on and on. And she has very famous directors who she interviews in this book. I don't know how I'm going to do this. How do you do that? Okay. And she has scripts and breakdowns, and those little gray areas, those are quotes that she personally got from famous directors, like huge, like A-list directors. So this is an invaluable book. Again, go to maryloubelli.com or Amazon, and this is a must. You cannot go wrong with these books. And I do not get paid. There's no payola. There's nothing coming back in my pocketbook. No, I just do this because I believe in this book, and I really have never promoted any other books in the whole 20 years I've been doing this show, because I really, really have to believe in something strongly. And I'm telling you, these books are a must. OMGG. All right, now for the best part of the show. I wish I could sing. I would do like a little song, do my little dance. All right, we got the Cabbage Patch coming in. It's coming in hot. Oh God, my neck. I can't do that anymore. This is not 1984. All right, now let's talk about the guest that's going to be on the show today. Yes. Very exciting. His name is J. Ryder Ward. There he is. Oh God, that looks like a mug shot. Woo! Holy shit! I'm gonna have to tell him next time I want to smile, because he has beautiful white teeth. I'm gonna tell him only a picture smiling, because this looks like he is coming for me. He's coming for me. I stole something and he's coming to kill my ass. All right, let's move on to another picture. All right. Now, this is his latest. Well, actually, I don't think it's his latest, but this is a film poster from one of his films called Payment Received, which, as you can see, has won multiple awards. Let's see what else we got. What other picture do we have? There he is, J. Ryder Ward, who he's got all his little awards. Look at that. I think that's all for Payment Received. Yes, it is. So what else do we have, Albert? There is probably one of the actors, and a very hot-looking actor, may I say. Don't know who he is, but we'll be finding out. For Payment Received for the Shockfest Silver Bullet 2021. Looks like there's some blood involved. Oh, here's another poster. Very nice posters. Let's see. It says a music band travels to Mississippi for the audition of a lifetime, where they spend the night in a home they rent it on an online vacation site. Unfortunately, the house is secretly inhabited by mysterious, deranged figures who want them all dead. I am sold. I am sold. Get my movie ticket now. I love those type of movies. What else do we have? Any more pictures? Oh, there we go. Persuasive. This is another film by J. Ryder Ward. And as you can see in the second picture on the far left is our very dear friend, Ernest Lee Thomas. Oh, I love him. He was a star of the sitcom back in the 70s, hit sitcom called What's Happening. Also, he was Mr. Omar on Everybody Hates Chris. Remember, he used to say tragic. Cannot say it like him, but that is another film that we'll be talking about. So let me just read a brief bio of our guest today. J. Ryder Ward is a self-taught, award-winning filmmaker who grew up in a hybrid area of Highland Park and Detroit, Michigan. His claim to fame, which I didn't even know until I read this, his claim to fame is an appearance as an extra in the feature film He's Just Not That Into You. Now, I've never watched that film, but now they've made a sale. Now that I know James was in it, I'm going to have to watch that after the show. So he was an extra in that scene during a scene between Kevin Connolly and Drew Barrymore. And as you know, Drew Barrymore, oh my God, one of my very good friends is John Blythe Barrymore, who is the grandson of John Barrymore, Ethel Barrymore, all the Barrymores. He's a scion. He's been on our show many times. And that scene is at the end of the film. So you might want to rent it. He's Just Not That Into You, and look for J. Ryder Ward in the film. Now, he has written, produced, and directed an award-winning feature horror thriller called, as we just saw the film posters, Payment Received, which is playing exclusively on Crackle.com. And I just recently downloaded Crackle to see what was on there, and I am going to be checking his film out. Now, that film, Payment Received, was nominated for 5 awards at the Edmonton Festival of Fear in Edmonton, Canada, and it took home 3 awards, which were Best Picture, Best First-Time Feature Film Director, and Best Actor. Oh, I wonder who got the Best Actor. We got to find that out. And recently, J. Ryder Ward was a writer's PA on the upcoming Amazon series Cross, created by Ben Watkins. So we're going to find out if there's some trailers we can watch for that. So without further ado, let's bring that little cutie on. Welcome to the show, James Ward. James J. Ryder Ward. Oh my God, I'm out of breath. You gotta pick up some slack and do some talking. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I tell you, it's getting harder by the week, honey.
There are 2 things I need to touch on. First, you was talking about your logo. You had to switch it because it was a finger. That's probably why you didn't have any followers, because it was the finger. You know, I don't know what finger you were using, so that might have been a turnoff. and the other thing is, and I know a lot of your guests are Emmy, Oscar, Grammys. Even though I'm not one of those yet, a Grammy is coming soon because I'm back in the booth. Kendrick and Drake, they are inspiring me right now. So I'm going to have a song out in a couple of days. Actually, a couple of years. I'm sorry. I said days. I'm in a couple of years. It's going to take a minute.
What? I didn't even know you did music. What do you write? Oh. Oh, my God. You lead me on, get me excited, and then you're like, nope, that's not what I meant at all.
No. I did music video treatments, and I assisted directed a few music videos, but I've never written anything,
Oh, my gosh. Well, if you were to write a song, what Okay, say it's not the artist that created the song. If you had to write any song ever, what song would it have been?
Oh, Happy Birthday, because it makes a lot of money.
That is true. Look at you. Ever the opportunist.
Oh,
Happy
hey,
birthday.
I would get the copyright and just sit back and let everybody sing it while my bank account just fill up, you know?
Well, and you know, another song that makes a ton of money is that I Will Survive. I
Oh,
had no
yeah.
idea. I just
Oh,
read
yeah.
an article. It is the highest grossing song that is bought to play at parties, that is sung at
Wow.
parties, weddings. And I'm thinking, why in the hell would you play that song at a wedding? But it's
Well,
very common. It's
well, I can
very
say some people I know that got married, they ain't surviving. So that's
they got that on the back
maybe
burner.
it's trying to get them.
They played that at the divorce party, right? My God. So the last time that I saw you, we were at your friend's house and we were doing an interview with Ernest Thomas. And
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
know, at that time, we had briefly talked about you. You had just started a job working at, so I'll let you fill it in and how's
Oh,
it.
you talk about how I met Ernie. So it was around 2008, 2009. I was working for a guy named Gary Garver, who used to work for Howard Stern. And this was like when the internet craze first took off and they were doing internet TV. So I was there working one day and Ernie came in for an interview. And I just arrived here from Detroit. So when I saw Ernie in Detroit, it was reruns of what's happening. I didn't see an older version of, Ernie. So I had no idea what this guy looked like. So he came into the room and then he started talking. I'm like, that voice sounds so familiar to me. And so I went up to him. I'm like, excuse me, sir. I've seen you before. He's like, no, you didn't. I was like, yes, I did. He's like, you never saw me before. And he walked away. And I was like, I know that guy. I was like, wait a minute. I know you. You're that guy from TV. You're that guy. What's happening? He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yes, you are. I'm like, do the laugh. He was like, nope. I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna go finish doing what I was doing. When I turned my back, he was like, and I was like, oh my God, it is you. And that's how I met E. And then I told him I was a writer. Back then I wasn't directing, I was just writing. And I gave up. We met up in Burbank. I took a train. I was living in Fullerton, California at the time. And I took a metro train from Fullerton down to Burbank. And the coffee shop was right at the exit. So I got out and I called him. I was like, hey, I'm at this coffee shop and I got my scripts. He came and met me, read the scripts, and was like, oh my God, you can write. And we became friends ever since. But the sad part about that story for me that broke my heart, I had to call this dude for like 2 weeks straight, and he never answered the phone.
Oh, that's Ernest. That is Ernest. He has everybody in a queue. You're lucky if you get a telephone. Yep. That's
He never
Ernest.
answered it. Then I was like, when he finally answered, I got tongue tied because I'm used to him not answering, so I'm always talking to the voice machine. And so one day he was like, "Hello," I'm like,
Is that really you? Did you answer? Oh yeah, he is so
Yeah.
busy. You're very lucky if you get a phone call from Ernest. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
he's better at texting but yeah. So I didn't know that it was 2008. I thought you guys had been
Yeah.
friends. I mean, the way you are together, it's like you've been friends for 20,
No.
30 years.
He was the first I guess person I met when I came to LA. Because I just started networking and meeting, and Ernie, we just gravitated to each other, and he's always been honest about my writing. He'll tell me what works, what doesn't work. Whenever I shoot anything, he's more than welcome to be. I'll be in it. So a lot of my projects that except for the film, he wasn't in, but everything else I've shot, he's always been in it. Yeah, Ernie is my dog. Like I want to give him his roses from me right now. He gets his roses.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. He's
He is.
phenomenal.
He is wonderful and everything. He
Yes.
is a authentic actor. Like there's
Yes.
nothing he can't do. He can do drama, he can do comedy, he can do
Drama.
everything. And I swear to God, I don't even know how he does it because he's always being interviewed every day, or he's off to some festival, or he's being given an award.
Mhm.
And I mean, I gotta admire somebody who has that energy.
And he still have time. He still
Yeah,
have time for me. Whenever I need to reach out, he's always there.
he
So I
does.
love that guy to the fullest. He's amazing to me.
He
So
does. And what, when we were doing the interview, you had talked about you were just starting a job. Was it in Canada? Why do I keep thinking you're in Canada?
no, not
No.
Canada yet. No.
Okay,
The
okay.
film was in Canada. When I did my film, Payment Received, after I completed it, I entered into a film festival over in Canada, the Edmonton Festival of Fear. I put it in just on a whim, just to do it. And it got nominated for 5 awards. So I was like, I'm going to Canada. So I went and got my passport and all that. And I went to Canada. I went to the premiere and all that. And it was just an amazing time for me to know that we were up for 5. And then I brought home 3. Out of the 3, the 2 major ones was, for me, Best Picture, Best First Time Feature Film Director. Well, I say all 3, and Best Actor. To know that I had the power to withdraw that from an actor, and they put that much into my film. Like, the cast and crew was phenomenal on that film, because the film almost didn't get finished.
No, wait a minute. Was the best actor that hot guy that I saw earlier? Because if you could
Yes,
withdraw that
that's Levi.
performance out of him, I'd like to withdraw a couple of things out of him myself. No, but what's his name?
That guy's name was Levi. He was a model turned actor. So I think that film was his first acting project, and the dude was phenomenal. I was so proud of Levi.
He won
And it's
best
like that
actor
whole
the first
yeah,
time.
and that's awesome. And like when I did that film, we were scheduled. I shot it in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. We were scheduled for 10 days, so we flew everybody from LA to Jackson. On the 3rd day of filming, my lead actress got the flu. And so it started spreading. So we had to send her back to LA. And then at that point, it changed the dynamics of the script, because she was an integral character. So I had to rewrite 12 pages a night. Every night, I write 12 pages. I get a script to the guys like at 6 in the morning. They'll get it, then they'll go to set. So those guys persevere. Like, that cast and crew, to know that all of the trials and tribulations we had with that film, and we still was nominated for 5 and brought home 3, is just an amazing testament to everybody's work. Everybody did an amazing job.
Wow.
So,
Now, you were talking about we briefly read the synopsis for Payment Received, but why did you decide to write that particular film? Are you a horror buff? Is that your preferred genre?
I get in trouble for this, because I am considered a filmmaker. And back in Detroit, I started off as an actor. And as an actor, you are taught you could be whatever you want. Just deliver the lines and create the character. And I use that same approach as a writer. So I write, and then coming from Detroit, like, I don't know how it is here. I didn't grow up here, but in Detroit, you'll watch a sci-fi in the morning, a drama in the evening. Then you'll see, you may see a comedy in the middle of the day. So I was able to watch all of these genres. And I just tap into each one because I like them all. I love film. I love television. I just love to create and write. So, like I said, but this gets me in trouble. It gets me in trouble with a lot of people, because they want you to be a master of your element, so to say, I guess. But for me, it's I love what I do, and I put my heart and soul into everything I do. So if you need a drama, I'm gonna knock it out. You need a comedy, I'm gonna knock it out. Sci-fi, it's like I don't let any of that deter me. Because even if I got to do research, like if I don't know the background of certain things, I would grab an encyclopedia, go on Google, whatever I got to do, talk to people to make sure that those characters are authentic and the scenes are authentic. I'm gonna make it happen regardless. And again, I am a filmmaker. That's why I want to make sure everybody understand that I am not just a horror director. And the only reason why I did horror was I had 3 or 4 scripts I think I gave my agent at that time. And he was like, what is the cheapest thing we could shoot? Well, horror. And and that's how I filmed Payment Received, because it was just something we had, a single location horror film. That's all it was. And it was just something simple we could shoot. And that's how I became, Payment Received.
Wow,
Yeah.
I was wondering because I don't remember you ever saying you were a horror fanatic. And I know that I have lots of friends who are screenwriters, and when they write horror, that's it. Horror, 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 monster, monster, monster. So it's interesting that you can write so many different
Yeah.
genres. Yeah.
And I
So,
love horror I'm a weird horror fan. See, for me, I love George Romero. I love Cannibal Holocaust. Like the Italian horror films. Like I go deep. You know what I'm saying? Like I
wow.
like stuff like that. Like that stuff is very entertaining to me. I like the way they do the characters. I'm a huge fan of British writing. British writing
Oh,
to me they allow characters to breathe in my eyes.
oh
I
my
love
God. Yes.
Man, I used to watch the comedy over there. It was one on PBS back in the day called Are You Being Served? Which I think
Yes.
is a
Yes.
hilarious, you know.
Upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, and there was
Yes.
one with a lady named Hyacinth. I can't think of it right now, but
Oh
she used to go like,
yeah.
mind the pedestrians, Richard. Oh, I love that.
Yes, and her last name was Boucher, or
Yeah, but they spelled her Bucket. It was Bouquet.
Bucket.
Her name was
Yes,
Bucket.
Bouquet. Yes, yes, and she hated when someone mispronounced her name. Oh
Oh,
my God,
Keeping
that's
Up
one of my favorites.
Appearances. I think it was
Yes,
called Keeping Up Appearances. Yes.
yes, keeping up
Yeah.
appearances, and but my absolute favorite was Absolutely Fabulous. Did you ever watch that?
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh, you are missing life if you have
I'm
not
gonna check it
watched
out.
Absolutely Fabulous. Please, please, it's about these two women they are huge. Like they're very, very successful in their careers, but all they do is snort coke and they
Wow.
smoke pot. And the opening scene is the door opens and smoke, like the Cheech and Chong movie where the smoke
Oh
comes out,
man,
and
yeah.
you're expecting two men to come out. You see these two women, and they're just, and the hair is piled up high to Jesus, and the lines are brilliant. These women can write. The Saunders, it's Jennifer Saunders, and God, I can't remember the other, but she could write like it. There used to be an old British team, very famous, called French and Saunders. Do you remember
I'm about
them?
to check that out. No, I don't know them.
Very, very famous women, had shows back in their 20s, in the 80s, and they were so brilliant with writing their own stuff. So this show, Absolutely Fabulous. James, be prepared. You will be laughing your ass off. It is the
I'm definitely going to
funniest,
do that.
funniest British sitcom ever, and I watched everything. So,
And
yeah, but like you, I love everything British. That's what I watch. Everything,
mhm.
murder mysteries, comedies, dramas, you
But
name it.
you want to know my intro? Okay, this is okay. Please forgive me, people. But my intro to British comedy was Benny Hill. I used to watch Benny Hill with my grandmother, and I love like 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 the Americans. They would talk about Cara Burnett and all of that, and I was like, that's cool. My thing was Benny Hill. I thought Benny Hill was the funniest dude in the world to me.
Absolutely. Benny Hill and Mr. Bean. Did you like Mr.
Yes.
Bean?
Yeah,
He
we used
was,
to watch Mr. Bean.
oh
Not
my
so much the
God.
movies though. I didn't like the movies as
No,
much as the show. The
no,
show was
no,
because I
no.
think to me those were more like skits. They weren't
Yes.
full feature films or they were more skit based.
Yeah. And he was
And it kind of
better.
lost the flavor.
Yeah, he was better at doing skits, and that's how he became famous, writing those little skits. And no, they weren't meant to be longer than 5, 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes. When they tried to stretch it out into a movie, I think
Yeah.
it was completely
It
lost.
kind of lost it for me, yeah.
It was too silly. But yeah, I really prefer foreign everything. Like I'm watching a German sitcom called Homicide Hills, and I said, Jesus, God, they can write there, and you learn so much because, of course, I have to watch subtitles. but I'm learning like German words, and I'm learning about the culture, and I'm learning about the food, and I'm learning about how what they think is funny compared to what we think is funny. So I would check that out, Homicide Hills. And I just love Luna and Sophie, which is a German show. I watch Swedish shows. I just prefer it because I'm finding, James, that I don't want to say this. I had Mary Lou Belli, who's a multiple Emmy-winning director on the show, and she directs a lot of sitcoms. Are you familiar with the Miss Pat show? With that,
I've never watched it, but I heard of it. I heard of it, but I never watched it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful sitcom, and she has done Girlfriends with who is the daughter of Diana Ross, Tracy Ross.
Oh, Tracy Ellis Ross, yeah.
All right. So she really directs a lot of sitcoms. But I asked her, what is happening in the world of sitcoms? Because I cannot, James, find a sitcom that I think is funny anymore, because I feel like they've become too politically correct. And as I told her, I am a very fluffy white woman, and I love jokes about fat white women. I love them. The more I can't get enough of them. I don't have a problem with anybody talking about that. And I think that if you're a true comedic enthusiast, no matter what fun they're making of, if you fit in that category, you should be laughing, because there's truth in all humor and truth in all rumor. But,
exactly.
James, I can't find any sitcoms that they're all afraid of offending somebody. And so
and you know what's funny?
I don't think, what?
And you know what's funny? And I don't know if you can. Remember, I did this. I shot a whole a pilot episode of a sitcom in my friend's backyard. And I had it screened at the Chinese Man Theater years ago. I don't know. Did you get to go to that?
No.
And that show is about the same thing we're dealing with now. It was about a company that trained other people how to be politically correct, but it was the worst group of people training. It was hilarious. So it was sort of like my Big Bang Theory. It's very fast comedy, very highbrow, smart comedy, where people like the dialogue is like very fast riffing,
I like
and I wrote that. Yeah, so I would love to bring that out, because especially in this day, like for instance, it's I don't know if I should say, please forgive me. It's a scene where it's one scene in particular, is this Asian girl who's going to work for her. She's a stripper, and she's trying to be the head of what's the one when they sexual harassment, and she's a stripper and a porn star, and she's going to be the head of sexual harassment. But anyway, she goes in for the job interview, right? And the guys that own it, one of the guys was like, "Oh my God, I'm about to go play me some Chinese checkers," and he goes down the stairs to go talk to her. It's stuff like that I love, that I think is hilarious. I love stuff like that. And I'm telling you, that show will be, people, y'all want to pick it up? Let's go. It's Ernest Thomas. Like, everybody's in it. I mean, it's dope. I want to put it back out there. I did at the Chinese Man. It did good. I didn't have any contacts back there, so it kind of fizzled. But if anybody want to do a show like that, that's not afraid of people and want to just be funny, and like there's no, what's the word? It doesn't have a message. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's just fun. It's straight up fun, and it's hilarious, and it's funny. If you want to do a show like that, I have it. Let's do this together. Let's work, and let's make it happen.
Let's do it, and we'll call it Politically Incorrect.
So it was actually called Hamilton Hayes was the name of it. It was starring the guy, you went over his house, Walter, and his friend Dave Craze. There were two guys, and it was the best. They wanted to start a new job because that was during a housing crash. So basically it was about them finding a new job. They're like, we can start our own business. So they did it in their backyard. Oh my God. I shot that in one day.
As a film or a web series?
I did a total 30-minute sitcom. I had the 3 cameras set up. I mean, I really did it. I had 3 cameras set up. I had the actors. I did everything. We shot it in one day in my friend's backyard. I mean, and it was good. Like I said, I edited myself, and I took it to the Chinese Man Theater. But that was when I first came to LA, and I didn't have the contacts. But now that I have some contacts, people, you know what I'm saying?
Bring it back. Do you still have the footage?
I have everything. I still have the original script,
Send
which
that
is
to
dated a little
me.
bit,
I
but I got
want
all
to
that.
send it to me. I'm
No,
telling you, I'll shop that around for you because I know a lot of
I'm
people.
telling you.
We talk about how we are so sick of things being politically correct and we want to
No,
go old school. We can't take it anymore.
you
It's
can't.
not funny.
No. And that's what's, to me, that's what's hurting us right now because we're so in our head about, oh, we got to make sure we say the right thing or we got to do the right thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now we're just relax. As long as you ain't being racist or something like that, we're just having fun. You know what I'm saying? If you're not intending to hurt somebody or doing physical damage to someone, let's just relax, have fun, and
Oh,
laugh like we used to, you
I
know?
know. What the hell is so? I don't understand why somebody is so upset about things. It's just
Yeah.
funniness. Which it used to be funny. I used to love when what was his name? The guy from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Carlton. He did the white
Carlton.
people
Oh,
dance. Yeah.
man. Yeah, that
I
was
laughed my
hilarious.
ass off because you know why? There's truth in all. Oh, that is true. That is how a lot of white people dance, and he did it perfectly. Or when the African people say that the white people walk like they got the corn cob up their butt. Why is it funny? Because it's true.
It's true.
You don't need to get offended over that shit. It's
And it's
ridiculous.
all, and to me, it's all love. It's just we observe each other. And some of
Yes,
the stuff we do on both sides is hilarious, we must
that
admit.
is
You know,
true. That is
some stuff
right.
is like, whoa, I wouldn't do that. But and you know what other thing I don't like? And people gonna be so mad. I don't like Crocs. I'm so sorry. I'm just not a Croc man. You know,
Yeah.
people wear them everywhere. Everywhere I go, people wearing Crocs. I don't get it. Sorry.
One of my favorite comedy albums of all time was Eddie Murphy back, I think it was 1987, Raw.
Raw, raw.
Did you,
Oh my God. Oh, that's
I got
awesome.
some ice cream. I got
Yeah.
some ice cream. And you can have none. And you can have none. Because your mama's on welfare.
Yeah.
Your mama's on welfare. And I
Oh
thought,
man.
oh God, that is so true. And that is when we used to laugh, James.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What is there to
Oh
laugh
man, I
about
miss it.
anymore? What the hell is there to
It's,
laugh about?
I mean, if we be honest about it, it's a whole hell of a lot. But the thing is, we're not.
Yeah.
It's a lot to laugh at right now. I mean, think about it. I mean, if you could touch on anything, politics, even film now, everything is something hilarious in each element of life that we are going through.
It is,
And
but you can't
unfortunately, we are
talk
not.
about it. Yep.
Yeah, you can't.
You
You
can't
can't.
because
And
you'll get stamped, you'll get branded something. Something will happen, and next thing you know, you'll be what is that word called when they not ostracized, but with the
cancel? Is
internet,
that it?
yeah,
You
canceled.
cancel? Yeah.
You just get
Yeah.
canceled, or it's almost like the
You want to
witch
know?
trial.
You want to know my personal opinion about? Oh, God, I hope I don't get in trouble again. See, here with
Oh,
me running
just
my mouth.
say
But here
it.
we go. This is my personal opinion about the cancel thing. I think what happened was it started off one way, and we were actually putting out people that was really doing wrong, and it was working. And then somehow it went from that to now it's everything under the sun, and it wasn't that way in the beginning. It was not that way. These were actual horrible people doing certain things, and now
Right.
you're getting canceled for I like unleaded gas. Oh my God, you're killing the world. We don't need it. We need all the electric. It's like, come on, man. But it's like
Yeah. Like
we
when they started
and
that hashtag Me Too, it started out, yes,
yeah,
weed off the people that were
and
abusing people. But now they're using it. If a woman wants to get revenge against someone, they can just say that they did something. It may or may not be true.
but the sad part is it's our fault because we let stuff happen when we shouldn't. Like when again when the Me Too started to shift, it should have been dead. Like even when the cancel, it should have been dead Because again, cancel in the beginning was a great thing because it helped people out who didn't have a voice. That's what it was in the beginning, in my eyes. It was for people who didn't have a voice, who finally was able to get help. And so people were getting canceled because they hurt somebody who didn't have friends who were celebrities or had somebody in the White House or whatever. But now it turned into like this monster. And it's like, come on. And the same thing with the Me Too. Again, a lot of women didn't have a voice then. And so it was perfect for the people that didn't have a voice. And then what happens is, you know what they say, the loudest voice in the room was always the one to get heard. So now those people started, and now the people that really need it, now people, they know what, no, just like the cancel. Look at how we look at cancel now. This is what we do. But that's not what it was. So now the people that still need that cancellation, they can't even get it no more. The same women that need that Me Too, they can't even get it no more. Because now we all like, oh, I don't care. And now we don't even look at it no more. And it's sad to me.
It is.
I'm sorry. I was just talking.
No, I love it. I love a person who tells it like it is. I love it.
You know,
I didn't know better. I think you were from the East Coast instead of Midwest because you tell it like it is. And I like that.
One last thing I'm going to touch on. I'm not going to say nothing else.
Yeah.
You know how they talk about the word woke, right?
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning, this is another one that had the same thing. In the beginning, it had a great message. Everything was great. And then now you see what it is. Now people are using it in political rallies and stuff like that. And now it has a bad connotation to it. And now it's like, again, it was for the people who didn't have a voice, who just wanted you to pay attention to me. Open your eyes and see me when I walk in the room. That's what the woke was for. And I'm so hurt now that we don't do that no more. Now when you hear woke, oh, here we go with this again. And now people don't even pay attention.
Yeah.
And and that's it for me. I said my little thing.
Everything is being over abused. It's just not. And it's been going on like this for a while. And I don't think people realize, James, I'm very aware of time. And it goes by very fast. And you can be like a whole 5 years or 10 years can go by. And I feel like this is not a fun part of life. I feel like this is a very strained part of life, and it keeps going on, and year after year after year, where they've taken away all of the laughter from being able to have humor about the things that we were just talking about, politics and this and that. And there's so much to laugh about, but we're just so afraid. So I'm thinking that maybe this is going to go on for maybe 10 more years. And look how old we're going to be. We're missing the opportunity to write shit. Like you as a screenwriter, you could be writing so much stuff that's funny, but you can't touch on the parts where they say, that's this, that's that.
I think it's a few of us. No, I know it's a lot of us out there that want to do this raunchy, write the Porkies, write the, I'm about to write something that's going to make you like, oh my God, I didn't expect that. Because we stopped, even Superbad, like you can't do a Superbad now. Superbad was an amazing movie, but trying to do Superbad now, and the sad part about it, that's not even that far away. Superbad is only 5 years ago, if something like that. No. And you can't even make a film like that now.
No.
Like, it's like, come on, y'all. It's like, let's relax. Because it's going to make money. It's funny. Just have fun. Again, if you're not demonizing somebody, if you're not hurting nobody, and you're not doing it with ill intent, funny is funny.
But you know what I'm saying? Time is slipping into the future, James, and we're getting older, and opportunities are just slipping away. And I just feel like we need to just squash it and get back to the funny. But I don't know how we're going to do that. I don't know how long this politically correct stuff is going to last.
I think, for me, my opinion is, because they say art is powerful, right? Art is a powerful tool. Art can make your mind think about stuff you never thought about in your life. And it's very formative when you watch art. If we were to start producing those type of comedies and putting them back on like a Netflix, because you know what? You know what's funny? if you go look at Netflix now and you watch all the foreign comedies, they're doing the stuff we were doing 10 years ago, and it's hilarious. Like they're not politically correct. They pushing the boundaries. Oh my God, I love them. Go look at Netflix and look up comedies. Watch all the Spanish ones, the one from Spain, overseas, English, like all of those. They doing stuff we weren't doing. We need to go back to that, and I wish that they would give us again. Give us an opportunity. Like I'm one willing to take it. So if you want to just be like, you be the face and you get all the hits, I would take it.
Yeah.
I would love to go out there and just go out there with something funny and just be like, all right, guys, we just about to laugh. We about to have a good time. Everybody just relax. Just take off your thinking caps. Just take everything out. Don't think about it. Just watch. You know, that's what we're missing now. We don't just watch stuff no more. We don't remember going to the movies. To me was where you zoned out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nothing had to be a message. Nothing you had to think about unless you wanted to. Like if you wanted to go see a doc, you go to an art house. You know, there were places for stuff like that where you wanted to like think about film. You go to an art house. But if I just wanted to zone out, watch stuff explode, watch something funny, watch somebody walk, like Police Academy, prime example. Somebody, and that's not a good saying, I'm not gonna say it, but Police Academy. But like, you know, I know it was a scene I was going to say, but I'm not going to say it right now. But
that guy who did all of those, the guy who did all of those sirens,
Michael something. I can't think of his wings. I can't remember his last name, but it's Michael something. That dude is phenomenal. He did all the sound effects. I used to do that growing up, like just doing all, making all the sound because of him. Because I saw, for me, it's because I saw him doing it, so it influenced me to do it. Because I guess if I never would have saw it, I probably wouldn't have done it. I mean, I probably would have done it in the dark, but because I saw somebody that number one that looked like me was on there doing all these cool things, I related. So just like me beatboxing, if you think about music, a lot of beatboxers that back in the day, the Fat Boys and all that, because we got to see somebody that looked like us do it. We was like, oh, we can do this, and then you got the Dougie Fresh. You got all them coming out doing the same thing, you know. So. Yeah, you know, so yeah.
Well, let's
image is everything. I'm telling you.
Let's keep our fingers crossed that this PC stuff is over really soon, because I tell you what what a lot of people don't realize. I'm surprised about, but I don't know how much you think about this, but there is a new world that is sliding in under the radar for screenwriters, directors, producers, songwriters, and you know what it's called? It's two initials, AI. And if you had any idea about what is happening in the world of entertainment, you'd be scared as a screenwriter, as a songwriter, because these AI programs can write entire films for a studio.
Yeah.
You type, I want hey, Albert, I want James to hear that song that the AI wrote and made it a jazz tune. Can you get that prepped up? Because I want James to hear this. Okay. So Albert, who, as you know, is extremely into computers, everything. So he stays up with all the technology. He is watching films called immersive filmmaking. I said, what the hell is that? Okay. So he has those, those glasses, those virtual glasses.
The VR glasses, virtual reality. Yeah.
And he watches these films. Okay. So with immersive filmmaking, you tell the AI, you say, I want to write a film, a horror movie that has 4 characters. It's set in England, in a town in this. You just give it the outline.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch will write a full script, a feature film with blocking, lighting, sound for every scene. And screenwriters better be aware that this is happening right now, and studios, that is the wave of the future. So I have a friend that works, is on the board, I won't say of what film studio, but they said they are silently working it out so that they can get to the point where they can eliminate all of the as many humans as possible, because with being able to write a film through the AI, they will eliminate the screenwriter. They will eliminate all of these people in key positions, so they don't have to deal with royalties, and they don't have to deal with all of these other things that people go on strike for. And these AIs can write a complete film. I would recommend that you watch an immersive film.
Mm-hmm.
And what's great about that is, okay, so Albert's watching a film that is it's a horror film, and you're watching the film, but you're inside of the film. You are walking with them, and you feel like you're walking because you're literally walking with them. You can't communicate yet with the actors, but you are walking with them. You're opening the door. You're hanging out. It's like you're in this group of people. And that is, and it's written, sometimes they'll throw you a line like, hey, Jack, don't touch that. And you're Jack, right? And they're all looking at you, and you're like, oh. So that is the wave of screenwriting right now. Albert, James, oh, you're going to be blown away. Hopefully Albert has this lined up. But I just listened to this AI who wrote a full song. Now the lyrics are the computer talking about itself, writing this song, but it has all of the instruments, and you tell it, I want it to be in a jazz format. It's in a jazz format. Perfect. Every instrument, perfect. Why do you need to hire musicians when you can get an AI to write your song in less than a minute?
The one thing that we have in our pocket, and one thing we're going to have to do as creatives, is number one, you got to go to the courts, because everything is through the courts. We got to make sure we protect ourselves. There is a law now that came out right when that AI started coming out, and they passed, and it said that anything created by AI cannot be copyrighted. It cannot be copyrighted because it's from AI. So that's one of the issues, that even if a studio were to do it, they can't make money off of it because it can't be copyrighted. So that's the issue that they're running in. Thank God for us, luckily. And then the other thing was, it's weird that you talk about this immersive world. I'm a gamer. I've been playing video games all my life, and we've been doing that forever. So when y'all be like, oh, we're like, yeah, we've been doing that. It's like, it's nothing new to us. We've been playing games, and we've been immersed and stuff. So you know, so it's like, and the way the games look now, they look like movies, like the characters and the artwork, it look authentic. So that world for us is like, well, we get it, but it's like, to me, you still can't, a computer don't have the emotion. Like, it could write any script in the world, but it's not going to have that emotional beat that you need. Like, it doesn't know how to explain when somebody actually cries. A person cries. Like, how does it? Are they bawling? Is it a single tear? Like, how is this person really affected? You know what I'm saying? Like, how was this line said? Is it a funny line? Is he being sarcastic? Is he being a jerk? You know, those are the elements that you can't get from an AI that you get from a human being. So that's the one thing that to me, we will always be better than a computer. They may be faster. They may write 500 scripts in an hour. We do one a week or a day, however you work. But it would never have the emotion or the background we could entail into that. It could be grammatically correct. You know, it's going to be perfect the first time out, but it's never going to have those elements that we need. Right. You know, it's just going to be it's like a blueprint of a building, where when you're building a building, it say just place wood here. It doesn't say that this wood needs to be, you know, the wood don't have any emotion, but you're still building a house. Or put the steel here. But when you got a bricklayer doing that, though, think about it. When a bricklayer is doing that, he may put his initials in the brick. He may make it ornaments, you know, like in the building, because he's putting his heart into it. You can't take that away from a human. That's the one thing we got.
Albert, do you have those two songs lined up for James? Okay, find that, because I really want James to hear this, okay? we'll play that for James maybe towards the end of the interview. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Also,
that
when
is
you found another one too, is a kid, what's his name? They did a song in the voice of Drake, and I think it's Kanye West, but it was AI. So they doing that with music, where they actually taking the artist's voice and they making songs. So like,
oh
this is
my God,
crazy.
it's
It's
crazy. It
insane
really
how they
is.
doing stuff now.
But they are definitely working on the studios are working on they want to eliminate as many people as possible to cut down on the problems that they have. But they said that the first thing they're working on is the AI's writing scripts. That's the first thing they want to do. They want to eliminate the screenwriters because there are so many problems, I guess. So that is something that we're going to keep an eye on. In some of my upcoming shows, I'm going to talk to my friend who's on the board of the studio and find out if I could. I don't know if they'll do it, but I'm going to find out. I can ask if they will come on and talk about anything, because it's very hush hush, but anything about
Yeah.
the future world for screenwriting specifically.
I think that's
So
where, and if that does happen with the big studios, if they do the AI route, I think this is going to be a huge win for like an A24, all the smaller houses, because they're
yeah,
going to have authentic. That's what, and I bet you what's going to happen is the studio is not going to make as much if they decide to go that route. All they're going to be able to make is tentpole films, and that's it. Because they are like, you just sit there and you zone out an explosion and it's fighting. They're not going to be able to do the Oscar winning type of films, which is going to be the great ones for the A24, the Lionsgate, all the little houses, because they got real people.
yeah,
That's the way I see it.
yeah. I'm gonna
Because A24 can't do a Marvel. They don't have the
yeah.
money for a Marvel, but they can make an Oscar winning film.
Yeah, A24. I think they've aligned and they're working a lot with Bloomhouse and
Yeah, they doing horror now. Yeah.
they're working.
Yeah.
Every production I see that has A24, it's and Bloomhouse. So I think
Call
they've had
me.
to team up. They've had to team up because it's a
You didn't see what I
competitive
said.
world out there. What'd you say?
You didn't see me. I was like, call me. A24 Bloomhouse, call me.
Now while Albert is looking for those examples, let's talk about the family reboot short film. What is that?
Yeah. That was another fun one. Did you go to that one? I actually did a family. I shot. That was just a 15-minute trailer. I wanted to do that as a sitcom. That was the first one I did, and I rented out Dick Clark Studios. He had a screening house. It's in Santa Monica, and I think it's a 21-seat theater. I think you and Albert came out, and what I did was I put an ad in the paper, and I told people to come out in 15-minute increments to watch it. So we had a line out the door. My wife made sangria. We had little go home packages. It was so much fun, man. Everybody loved it. And it's sort of like the family is like my Shameless. That's, again, it's another comedy. It's about a criminal family who are like on they do schemes to make money. It star Ernest Thomas, Walter Harris, Jessica Sade Ward. And it's like those are the family members, right? And it's just their world about them being a criminal family trying to survive in this world. It is hilarious. It is a modern day Shameless, and I know it'll go well. So again, are you
Well,
looking for that, or are you looking
I
for the
didn't.
Hamilton Hayes?
I didn't come. We didn't come to that. We didn't get
That
an
was years
invitation
ago.
to that.
That was in 2010, 11 when I shot that.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's funny how, what's funny, stuff I shot back then is relevant today. So I'm about to start bringing the politically correct thing, the family, which is like a comedy we need right now. But again, I think that one for me, in order for it to work, because I like to push the envelope, I want to go to like a HBO, Showtime, Netflix, somewhere where I could push the boundaries and not confine to the. I love broadcast, but for that show, I don't think it's going to do well because I want to touch on language. I want to just touch on fun. Just. I love going to that's what my daughter always tell me. Dad, you're going to the gate. I like to go to the gate. Sometimes I run through the gate.
So
So
this reboot. What are you doing with the reboot? Is that something
well,
happening
right now I'm
now?
about to shoot. Yes, I'm actually rewriting the script. I did it. I'm writing the script right now. and we're getting ready to film it, and then I'm gonna just put it out into the world. So I've been dilly-dallying with the script because I finally found the story, the reboot story that I wanted to do. So I found it. Thank you, God. So I found my story, and I was out there typing away, and I'm banging that away, and it's hilarious. They're all excited, cannot wait. So we're going to film that. I shoot fast, which is again why I love television. I shoot fast and dirty. So I'll probably shoot that in like a day or two. I think maybe 2 because I think we're going to get a location somewhere else, and we're going to rent that, and I got to be there like all day. If it wasn't for that, I shoot it all in one day.
Are you using all of the original actors in this reboot?
No, not all of them. 2 got shifted out due to circumstances out of my control.
Okay.
but it's 2 new actors going to be in it. They all excited. Ernie keep talking about it. Like everybody, like, when you gonna be done? I'm like, I'm working on multiple things, trying to get it done. But I'm super excited about it.
Well, where are you?
I just been laughing, writing.
It's going to be a short film?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to do. I want it to be a proof of concept, number one. Because I definitely want to get in television. So I want it to be a proof of concept, but I'm going to shoot it to maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. I just want something short to get people warning and like it. My goal is I don't want to shoot multiple episodes. I would rather just shoot one. Hopefully it could go to a network or something and we run out the gate with it. It's a great show. I'm telling y'all, it's fire. It's fire.
We are, hopefully we'll get to see it. And where will you post that when you're finished?
I have my Instagram, like stuff like that, probably on YouTube, and then just send it out to people I know who may be able to get me in a room somewhere to talk. But yeah, you know.
All right.
It's gonna be good.
I'm excited. When you're shooting it, let us know. We'll come down. I want to watch.
Oh, we'll do.
We'll shoot some footage behind the scenes.
Nice. Oh, I would love it. That
would be good. Now, what about television?
You're gonna die laughing.
What did
go ahead, I'm sorry.
You wanted to talk about television directing. What did you want to talk about with that?
Yes, that's the world I'm trying to enter into now. I was blessed and so lucky and thankful. Thank you, Ben Watkins. He created a show called Cross, which is based on the James Patterson book, Alex Cross. It used to be a movie starring Morgan Freeman, was in To Kiss the Girls, Along Came a Spider, and then Tyler Perry did one actually called Alex Cross. Well, Ben created a masterful television series out of it. I mean, this show is phenomenal. It's starring Aldous Hodge, and the first season I was in and out, and I was not at the writers' room at that point. I was more at this duplex hanging out, whatever. And I worked my way into being a PA into a writer's room. So I was actually shadowing in the writer's room for the major part. So I got to learn the magical world of the writer's room, and it blew me away. I was so and I don't know if all rooms are like this, but for this particular room, number one, everybody was a family. Everybody had each other's back. Nobody's voice was stifled. You wanted to pitch, you pitch your idea. It may not be the best, but you were still allowed to pitch. I was even able to pitch something, which shocked me, So I got to learn a lot in that environment. And I'm thankful to all the EPs that was there. I met a lot of EPs. I met a ton of television writers, and they just took me under their wing, and I'm so thankful for all of them. And being in that room, my goal was always to be I just want to be a writer director, just in general, in any capacity. And even if I have to produce, because I did my feature film, I could produce as well. I just want to be on the creative side. I got to create. I can't be behind the desk. I got to be able to create. So the television directing.
That's the job you were telling me about when we were shooting Ernie's interview. You were just about to start working in there.
About to start there, yeah. And I was doing a writer's PA, and I loved it, man. I used to go to work every time I saw Ben or all the rest. I'm like, man, I'm probably the happiest writer PA you ever met in your life. And, writer's PA is not a glorified job. You're getting coffee, taking out trash. Like, my thing was, I want to be seen. I'm going to take up space. Yeah. I'm going to be in this room. And I was getting the knowledge I got. I love hands-on versus school. That's just my preference. Hands-on over school any day. And to actually be in a working environment and seeing the studio, what they like, what they didn't like, all of that, I got to see it with my own eyes. I got to be in there when stuff was working, when it wasn't working. I got to be learning about the casting aspect, like everything that entails television series. I learned from the top to the bottom, and I'm so grateful and thankful.
Was that working for Amazon, or was that an intern
Well,
position?
no. I was working for Paramount at that. It's weird. I was at first I was oh my God, my story is hilarious. Okay, I used to show up at the at the writers' room. I was allowed to go, right? Because I got an invite to go. So I told Ben I'm gonna treat this like a job, so I'm gonna show up every day. So I used to show up every day and be in the writers' room. And then that progressed to I got opportunities from that just from being there. Because his words to me was just when I met him, he was just like, show up. I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, what the hell is show up? I'm showing up. I'm here. Nothing happened. I didn't know what that meant. But it took time. So me showing up doors just started to open. Oh, and I'm like, oh, so this is what show up mean. Because you in a room, somebody else may know someone, and now they talking to you. They telling you things. You know what I'm saying? You learning the ins and outs of everything. And jobs are starting to unfold in front of my eyes. Like, all right, Jack, I need you to do this. Okay. And because I was available in there, it opened up my world. And I was just so thankful. But I was in that position. It was cool. And then people used to look at me because, again, when I was in the writer's room in the beginning, I didn't have a position. I was just the guy in the room. So when writers used to come in, they used to be like, who is this guy? I'm getting lunch. I'm doing everything they basically do. And they're like, who is this guy? Just sitting here. Right. So that was very, mentally, it was hard sometimes because people are like, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, Ben's my mentor because he's my mentor. It's like, Ben's my mentor. They're like, oh, okay. Didn't know what that meant. They just knew I was there. So, but the thing was, I got $1 million worth of knowledge just by being in the room. You can't beat that.
What were some of the things you learned in the writer's room that the audience or aspiring writers, what is something you think would be nice to
know? It's nothing like writing a spec script, I tell you. Or like when you're writing on your own, or even as a feature writer, when you're getting notes from someone, it's just your particular note. When you're in a television series, sometimes you may write an episode and it just has your name on it. Other people wrote. It's like stuff like that I learned of, or your stuff is rewritten. You'll go do a script and then you'll get it and you turn in your draft because it's a network draft, a writer's draft. Like all these delivery dates has to be done. And you sitting there, you toiling over it, you put your heart and soul, and then next thing you know, the only thing you know when that script come out is, oh, that's the period I put in. But your name is still on it, so you can't, especially to me in the world of television, even though I never was like that, number one rule, do not be married to your work. You gotta learn how to it may be one or two things you want to fight for, but if you fight for it, it better be good. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go pitch it, it better be ironclad gold, but your script is not, when you're on television, it's more of an ensemble. When you're doing a feature, it's you and maybe a note from a producer, that's your baby, and even when they give you a note, you're the one making the changes. Doesn't work that way in television. So that was like an eye opener for me. I learned about how many days writers may work or what happens if it get extended. I learned how they broke down stories when they did the breakdown of like, okay, this is going to be the teaser. This is in act 1, act 2, act 3, and then you do the character. Like they do a lot of character background. Like I do it a little bit. Like for feature, you do it. I don't know, speaking for everybody, but for me, when I do my character work in feature, I do a little bit of background. Television, they was like, when she was 10, she didn't like pineapple juice, and it carries on. And this character may only be in for a season. And it's so well developed. Like these characters that they bring to life, man, it's fascinating to me how detailed each character are. And they show the character arcs of this is how the character started in the season. This is how it's going to end in the season. And you got to fill in those blanks in between. I had to learn about pacing. Again, writing in feature films, I got 2 hours. That's like maybe 80 pages. If I wanted to push it to 110, I got 2 hours to tell this story. Television, you got to make it last because you want seasons. So you can't give all the juicy bits of every character background, because you can't if you want the show to last, like if I watch the show in the first season, I still want to learn about that character in the fifth season. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know everything about that character in the first episode. Then why am I watching it? I want to make sure I know that character. And then I'm learning, oh man, I didn't know he was like that. Or even when that character shift, or I may have thought I knew what that character was like. And then in season 3, he's an alcoholic. And be like, oh man, I seen that. And you can see the journey. You know, and so the pacing in television is mind-blowing. Because you really got to know that stuff. Like I wrote pilots before, and I'm not gonna lie, I never really thought about, oh, I'm gonna extend this to 8 seasons. You know, I never really thought about the extension. I just did my pilot. This is gonna be great, you know. And like the first season is, but you got to think beyond that, you know, and that's what I've learned. Like you can't just think about that, you know, if you're on Netflix, you may get 8 episodes now, or even 10. I think that's the number now. Where back in the day in broadcast, it's like 22 episodes a season. It's a totally different world. So you have to cram all that information into 8, and they got to be solid episodes for people to watch. Because you don't have another 10 to actually breathe the characters. You got 8 episodes to make it hit. You know, that's tough. That's real. I give them kudos.
I was just thinking about that because when, for example, Albert and I are huge fans of the show 24, and they literally wrote 24 episodes per season. Which
because they did an hour show.
It's just not happening anymore. I mean, it's always been that way for British television. You're lucky if you get 4 episodes a year out of that. I mean, when you're on the streaming platforms now and you're watching, say, Murdoch Mist, oh, that's Canadian. If you're watching any British show, like Sherlock, for example, you'll get 2 episodes in a year, and you go 2 episodes, but then you look at how long they are, and they're actually an hour and a half, so it's technically a movie. But when you watch your British shows, you'll get 2, 4, and that's a season, 4 episodes. So I'm just fascinated with how their American television is now. Well, actually, network, they're still doing, because I watch a lot of Law and Order, Chicago.
Yeah, they still going there, yeah.
They're still doing at least 12. But some of the cable shows are following the European format.
It's like 8.
4 to 6, 8, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 8 to 12, I think, is the number that they've been hitting in between 8 and 12.
Yeah,
yeah.
So when you were working on when you were the PA for the Amazon series Cross, did anything develop? Is that over? Like you're done with the internship or the production assistant thing? And did it turn into anything? Was it fruitful?
Oh, it's beyond fruitful. Like I said, this has been amazing. Like the cool thing now is because now it's been released and now we could say it. The one I was working on is season 2 already. Cross got picked up for season 2 before the season 1 was even shown.
Oh, wow.
Season 1 doesn't even come out until I think sometime in, I don't know, it's later on this year is when the first season of Cross comes out. The one I just shot probably ain't gonna be shown till like 25, 26.
Now, how does that work? Because how does that work? Because with like television, the networks will buy a certain amount and they'll show it, run it a season, and then if the ratings are high, then they'll pick up a second season. How does that work on a streaming platform where they didn't even get to air the first season, but yet they picked up a second season? How does that work?
That all I know is that from what I know. Was they just loved everything that was done. The cast and the crew they saw the first season and they were like hooked. Like it's a Paramount Amazon show, Skydance. I think it's a couple of them are involved. And the footage that was shot, because this show, they just put the trailer is out on YouTube now. This show is so good. I love it. It is a great show. And they got that much faith in the show that they already gave them a second season.
Who are they? Who are they?
Amazon, I think Paramount and Skydance. So they already greenlit it.
It's a bunch of executives and producers, or who are they?
Yeah, it was executives.
that
I don't know the
decide that.
particular people because I wasn't in that room, but just the overall companies that, or the company Amazon that greenlit it, and it was just like, all right,
Okay.
good. So that's how that particular. I don't know how other shows
Okay.
work, but that one was because
So they green light. So whoever they are over at
yeah,
Amazon,
the entity.
they green light the show Cross, for example.
Uh-huh.
Then they give it funding to be made. They make the show Cross, and then do they come back again to the they people and say, well, this is what we did, and then the they people say, wow, I like it. Even though it hasn't aired yet,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a second season.
See, yeah, because a great show I love, and it's on Netflix. It's a great show. It was a comedy, action, martial arts show. It was called The Brother Son. If you check it out, I think it's Michelle Yeoh was in it. It's awesome show, right? I watched the first season. I loved it, and it canceled it. So it's like you can't tell how shows go. It came out, it did one season and got canceled. This show wasn't even shown and got picked up. So it's like you don't. It's just the powers that be, how stuff work. It's like there's no rhyme or reason of why things happen the way it happens. But that was just a good example of when you could have a show that, and it did great numbers, but to them it didn't do. I ain't gonna say I don't know the whole history. I just know
Yeah.
it just got canceled. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was a great show.
Yeah.
I think it could have did great as a second season, and then for this show to not even be shown. But again, it goes to the testament of the cast and the crew, the writing, everything in there. Like everybody I met across on that show has been phenomenal. And
Okay.
everybody's putting their heart and soul into it. And I don't know if that's it. I mean, that's just me being in the room and seeing people. That how they talk about the blood, sweat, and tears. Like when I'm
Yeah.
watching writers actually like, okay, I gotta go write, and they in their room and their office and they toiling and they're like, and the cool thing I got to do again as a writer's PA, I heard this is not normal, so I was geek. I got to do research. So they're like, Jay, look this up for me. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I used to do research and get to the writers. So it's a lot of stuff I was able to do that I don't know if that was normal, but it was cool. I learned,
So are
I
you
was
going to be
thankful.
working? Are you going to be working on Cross the second season?
So this is what, let's just say there are some things in the works for me. And I'm very thankful. And I can't say anything right now because
Okay.
things is not set in stone. But all
Okay.
I know is just keep watching because it's going to happen. It's some great things. It's again, I want to thank the Ben Watkins Group, Blue Monday Productions. I want to thank Ernest. There's so many people I want. Like right now, I'm on a trajectory. And as a kid, you know what this is like Christmas to me. You know how you can see the gifts, but you can't open it? That's
Yeah.
where I'm at right now. Like the gifts are there. I just can't open it yet. But I'm like,
Oh,
oh, please hurry up.
well, I hope. Are we going
So,
to see a credit coming up on Cross?
um,
I guess is the
not on
question.
this season. It won't be on this particular season a credit. But
Okay.
other things are happening. But
So
yeah. Oh,
you're
trust me, you'll see. You'll
so
see.
your goal is to be, because I have a friend, his name is Brian Kiley. He's been
Uh-huh.
a writer for oh my God, he's gonna kill me, for over 25 years now. The redheaded guy, the comedian. Oh, what is his name? The real funny guy, the comedian. He's been a writer. What is his name? Conan O'Brien. I'm sorry, Conan. Oh my God, I can't think these days. But anyway, my friend Brian Kiley has been one of the writers for every show he's ever done for 25 years. Because apparently, when you're a comedian, a famous comedian, and you like working with certain writers, you carry them with you on the different shows. So he's been with Conan O'Brien for decades, and he's been on my show a couple times, and he told me uh, a little bit about how a writer's room works. Now that is very different. Sketch comedy is very different
Yeah.
from, say, writing for a sitcom or a film. But I was
Yeah.
just fascinated with what he was telling me, how fast the pace is, very fast pace. And then because it's sketch comedy, you can write something and then it's complete but then there might be a story you want to carry to the other. But
Yeah.
it's different, like you were saying earlier, when you have characters and then you have to think about, I don't know how writers keep the characters open enough to all of a sudden they have some demonic drunken uncle who appears in like the 5th episode, and you're like, was there a demonic drunken uncle? And all of a sudden they appear. But then some shows, they're very careful and they leave in the beginning of the episodes, they leave it open where you don't know who all of the cast are. So I don't know how they decide that. Like, how do you decide?
It's a lot of that is the showrunner. Whoever created the show, the showrunner is the Bible, basically. He's the walking Bible in the room. It's his idea, however he wants the show to go. So everybody that works in the writer rooms work for the showrunner. And it's his story. So he will pitch an idea, and your goal is to make his idea come true on paper. That's how that goes.
But
he will tell you how it goes.
But if he's the showrunner, but not the screenwriter, then doesn't that conflict with
No, because a lot of showrunners are writers. That's another. A lot of showrunners, and that's what I've learned today. A lot of people you see on television, like it'll say EP, executive producer, those are writers. Co-producer, those are writers. Story editors, those are writers. Showrunner, those are writers. And then you'll see a staff writer. The staff writer is just the person who's new to the table, who haven't got an episode yet, who's just there, like, you know, he still writes and helps out and do research and may do a script, but he hasn't got a script yet. But he works on the show as a staff writer. That means you haven't got a title yet. Once you get your title is when you actually get your episode.
Yeah, because I see the executive producer, but then I don't see him. I don't see him with the credit of written by. And I always think it's the written by is the person who wrote the script.
No.
Like, for example, I don't know if you watch Law and Order or script. What is one of your favorite dramas on network television?
It varies. It varies. Cross. Let's say Cross.
Okay.
Cross.
Oh, no, that's
Cross is my favorite one.
Network. Network television. We'll just say Law and Order. Okay. So on Law and Order, every week you'll see written by, and it's a different writer every week. So my question is, that's not the name of the executive producer on the show.
Okay.
So how does the showrunner get full control of the script writer's story?
Because the showrunner it's like a CEO of a company. You run the company. You got to make sure that you make sales at the end of that year or whatever. Same thing as a showrunner. You got to make sure that episode hits. So just like, say like I was supposed to write episode 201. My name is on the script, right? And I wrote it. Okay, it wasn't the best. So now everybody else is putting their hands in it. Or even that sometimes what'll happen is, okay, you write a scene. Oh, you good at this. You good at our argument scene. You write that. Because some people have I call it their superpowers. Some writers are good at, like, when it's a good heated, like a discussion over dinner. Like, oh my God, like, Jay, you great at that scene. You write that one. And my name not on the script though, but I will write it for that person. And that person will get the credit. I won't get the credit. I get the credit in the writer's room. You know, we completed the job. Your job is to make sure that script is hot no matter what, whether your name is on it or not. The bottom line is that episode better be fired. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Your name on it, and when your name on it, that means you contracted. That's when extra money and residuals and all that stuff come in when your name is on the script. When you get contracted to write a script. Some people are on shows and don't even get a script. And that's just the way it is. Well, you're just a staff writer. You could be on Friends as a staff writer and never write a script. But you'll stay. So you get a weekly check, but you don't have the credit. They may put staff writer on it. Sometimes I noticed they started doing the staff writer thing. They used to didn't do it. From what I noticed, you see, it might be, it's funny. You'll see one or two names, but it'd be 6 people in the room. And I'm like, who in the world is the staff writer? You know, so it just confuses me. But yeah, your name, whoever name is on that script is the one who's going to get the credit regardless of who helped. write
Right.
those lines.
Yeah,
You
I
know, and the
just see.
showrunner is the one who's the chief. He's the top builder. It's his
Yeah.
story. This is his. He the one who created the show. This is his dream, his image of what I need it to be. So he'll
Mhm.
go in there and he'll pitch it to you. He'll say, okay, this is how I see the season. He'll sit down and he'll tell everybody, okay, this is the main character. This is this character. This is what I see going forward. And everybody go in there and write their notes. And then what you do, you start breaking story. Okay, we heard what you said. Okay, how do we make this into 8 episodes? We know what you want. Okay, this part, even though this is the last thing he said, oh, this would be a great opener. And then that's when you start moving stuff around. It's called blending. You know, and
Mhm.
I learned it's so dope. I'm learning so many things. Like you move stuff around. Like it's so dope how you create an episode.
So they don't have, usually, I can't remember, they might have, but I don't ever remember seeing showrunner as a credit in the credits. Is that also
No,
known as executive producer?
not from my understanding. Usually, the executive producer is the showrunner. One, because sometimes you'll see multiple names on there, but one of those
Yeah,
multiple may be the one that created. One of those who maybe usually it is have the one who created the show usually by itself. So you
created
may
by,
see
yeah,
executive by it, then you see other
right.
executive producers in the group, or sometimes they may stag them off and they come up one at a time. But the first one is the one that's usually either the boss or who created the show. Yeah, the
Okay,
boss or whoever created the show.
that's, well, I'm telling you, it's very complicated. So let's,
It's
Albert says he has that for you now. Now, I want you, James, in your creative, uh, as creatively as possible, I want you to listen to these two excerpts. Now, again, these were created by AI, which is, according to most people in the AI world, this is the way songs are going to be written in the future, and this is the way scripts are going to be written. This is just a sample of what a guy did by just putting in, what's it called, plot lines, like I want this, I want that, I want this, and this is
mhm.
what happened. So Albert, let's play James the first one, which is the jazz one. Okay, which one do you have? The non-jazz one. Oh, James would have loved the jazz one. Okay. All right. So let's just play for James, but let's make sure that he hears what the guy is saying before the music starts so he understands what the AI created. Okay, we don't have that either. All right, we don't have anything. All right, I'll just basically tell you that the guy put in some. I know Albert is not being a good executive producer. I'm going to fire him right now on the spot. We need a new showrunner, James. Okay, so basically, this guy has a podcast. It has millions and millions and millions of followers because he is exploring the world of what is the future of screenwriting, filmmaking, music via what AI is doing today. What he's saying is that based on his interviews with studio runners, people in like Paramount, at Capitol Records, at all the big major studios, they are preparing for AI to be doing these positions in the future. So this is a sample song. We had two. It was the same exact lyrics, but it was done in a rock style and a
Okay,
jazz style, and they were created in like 1 minute to
got you.
create that.
Okay,
So this guy said, I want you, Mr. AI, to write me a song in this style. And this is what it created in 1 minute. Okay,
got you.
let's
Okay.
play the one you have out.
We were having fun, programming young, dreaming that one day we'd make it work. Lines of code we'd write all night, hoping that one day Can we teach the machine to dream? And then, ooh, it started to sing. No, this can't be real. It's just a machine, but the melody, ooh, it's all too real. And those words, they make me feel.
That was also an AI singing.
Gotcha.
The words were, I mean, the music. I wish Albert had that jazz one. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I was blown away. What do you think?
You want to hear my critique? Okay, my critique is this, and it's just my personal opinion. The music, it was just, again, it's what the computer is doing because it's AI. It's taking a bowl of stuff that's already been done and it's just taking it out, right? So it's not organic. It's nothing natural or original because it's taking stuff already done and it's just taking snippets, right? Like it would never be John Williams who did the E.T. soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? Or the Star Wars. Like it would never have him looking at the screen and be like, all right, drums here. You know, like you would never get that feeling from somebody typing in, hey, put some drums here. Like it's just not real. Also, when it comes to the lyrics, what, Diane Warren going to write it? Like, seriously, you know what I'm saying? Being honest. Diane Warren, like the lyrics, like, come on, man. Like, if that's the word y'all want to do, when Diane Warren to sit there and give you a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching song where you're teary-eyed and like, oh my God. Like, I didn't feel none of that through that. I'm just saying, this is cool for a video game. Or, you know, like, it's a world for that type of music. You know, where it's like, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's a world for that. It's not in my world. I like organic things. I like pure things. You know, stuff that comes from the heart. So that would never work for me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe to create epic theme music for a background.
Yeah, you know, if you want to do something like that. Or video, like I said, video games, it'd be perfect because I mean, I think who cares about music and video games because I know there's people that are, but I mean, it's a world for that where you're not really focused on that. But I couldn't. How you gonna go to a concert? What's gonna be a computer up there? Like,
that I don't think Albert found the samples that he had before because I'm not impressed by that stuff either. But when he played that one jazz song, I could not believe it. My mouth was wide open. I could not believe that was a computer generated song, but he did not play the impressive song but what I'll do is I will have him look for that and send it to you and maybe get an opinion from you in the future because I was not impressed with that one. He just,
you know what it reminded me of?
Where he got that.
You know what that world reminded me of? And it's so wild because it's dated. It reminded me of Teddy Ruxpin. Remember the Teddy Ruxpin doll you could talk to, the bear? It's like, that's the world we in. Like, come on, y'all doing Teddy Ruxpin now in 2024? Like, it's not, no.
We'll see. Hopefully there'll still be a world for humans. Now, we are on to your questions. How did you first become interested in being a screenwriter and a director in the entertainment business as opposed to working in another profession?
Okay, this quick story because of my dad. My dad was a dreamer. My dad loves the film, and we used to get blockbuster movies and sit home and critique them. And he had my sister and I audition for like it was a Burger King. It was I don't know what they were called out here, but back in the day in Detroit, it was called Brady Key's Burger King, right? And me and my sister, we auditioned for it. My mom, my dad, and my sister, we sat on the bed and we wrote out this rap. This little jingle. We had to dance, we was getting down. Well, when we got to the audition, my sister like, hey, I'm like, I froze, right? I got so scared I didn't move, right? So the director came over to my dad and was like, look, this is great for the commercial, but the kid got to go. The boy got to go. And my dad was like, all or nothing. They were like, well, nothing. And they kicked us out. So ever since then, that has been my drive between the dreams that he had and just film and watching movies, watching the Mad Max and all the B movies that used to come out on VHS back in the day. Like all that just drove me. Like I just thought it was fascinating to be in that world. So that's why I love filmmaking. Yeah.
And was there a certain person who you admired seeing perform in the film or TV industry that inspired you to this career? Like when you were little, did you see someone?
It's weird because for me, it wasn't really a person. It was more the visuals. And maybe that's where my directing come from. I love like Star Wars, for instance. The way they did models and just like it made this world, like that blew me away. Like I could take a camera and do that. Like that was more of my inspiration, more versus the actor. It was like, because even now I like practical effects. Nothing's wrong with CGI, especially when you got the money for it. But I love, like, if I'm gonna do a Star Wars movie, I want to build, the Millennium Falcon. I want to do stuff like that. If I'm a film here, I like the physical. It's nothing like being in that world, being immersed, not with a green screen or a blue screen. And again, I will still take the job if you give it to me. But it's like I prefer, the models and all that good stuff and the squibs. Like I don't even know if they still do squibs like back in the day. Oh my God, that stuff is awesome. Oh, I love it.
Oh my, you want to build a model, huh?
Whatever, man. I love the physical. The physical aspect of it is just, again, that's just
my friend Tony, he was the one who created R2-D2 on Star Wars. Yeah,
I gotta meet him. You gotta introduce me.
Yeah, he's dead.
You gotta introduce me.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah. He was on my show a couple times. You can listen to the interviews, but yeah, he said there's nothing like drawing it, creating the idea, drawing it, and then watching it come to life.
Oh yeah.
So you would have loved talking to him. So what has been what was the most challenging process you experienced as a screenwriter or a director, and how did you overcome the obstacles?
It's twofold with that one for me. The first one is I'll touch on the film for a minute. This is my first feature film. It's money behind me. I only got 10 days. On the third day, everything went to the flush. That's the best way of saying it. To know that because I had the script wrote, the actors already had the script. Like to have all that, like I had my foundation. I had my Bible. I had my map. It was no question about how I wanted each shot to be. And to know on the third day of filming, all that is out the window. Woo!
Well, what happened that it caused it to be out the window?
When the main character got sick, because she was running it.
Oh.
And the dynamics between the characters changed dramatically. And so the dialogue didn't work. It didn't fit. And the scenes just didn't work anymore. So I had to change all of that, each night and write 12 pages, film, and then I had to remember where I left off and then write another 12 pages, film, and until I wrapped. And it was like that was the most, but the thing is I didn't buckle. I wasn't afraid because I'm a problem solver. So I was actually happy because I'm like, I'm in my world now, my element. Like, give me any problem, I'm gonna knock it out. I'm gonna solve it. I don't care. But then I found it was an IHOP next to my hotel. Because the funny thing is, real quick, when I was in Jackson, Mississippi, we used to wrap at 7 p.m., right? So this is during the time while we're writing. Everything closes at like 7 p.m. So I would leave set and try to go to a Starbucks. Oh, we about to leave. We about to close at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And I'm like, I couldn't write in my hotel room because it was just like, I wasn't getting anything. I need to get out. Yeah. So I end up finding an IHOP. It was so cool. Right next to my hotel, I found an IHOP. And I went in there, and one day they saw I was writing. They moved me to a booth. And it had an outlet. And they let me sit there every night. They saved my little booth for me at this IHOP. And I used to go there and write my 12 pages, give me something to eat, write my 12 pages, go back to my room, maybe like 2, 3 in the morning, get up at 6, go on set and just do the same thing. They saved my life because if it wasn't for that, I didn't know how I was going to be writing. Because one of my producers like, "What are we going to do, Jay?" I was like, "I only got enough pages for 2 days."
Right. Well, you know, we're gonna watch some of your videos now, and
Okay.
afterward, be thinking while you're watching your stuff, and tell me about maybe a problem that a director could run into and how to solve it. So we're going to watch some of your directors' reels, and that would be advice for aspiring directors or screenwriting, either one, whatever you feel like would be a good tip and advice from the footage that we're going to show. So it's going to be a combination of James's film Payment Received, and also I think we have, which we haven't talked about yet, your film Persuasive. So we're going to watch the video clips now, and then James will tell us how to solve some problems as a screenwriter and a director when we come back. So let's roll tape.
Lock up behind yourself.
Help! Help! Holy shit! Good news. The background checks came in, and we decided to burn them because everyone deserves a fresh start. Even you. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Hey! Daddy, don't tell us you're dying because we just got insured by Obamacare, man. That ain't gonna look good. What the hell you think I feel?
Who's living the separation?
Long story short, I manage musicians. You have to audition. This time, next week, in Jackson, Mississippi.
What the hell?
Who are you?
Let's do it.
Payment received.
If anyone finds my phone, please turn these people in. Do not rent from these people.
Oh man, that looks like some fun stuff. I think I know that blonde-haired girl, but I can't remember where. Oh God, I never forget a face. Names, I'm terrible. But that blonde in Payment Received, what is her name? Very blonde, young girl. The young girl. It was in the red top.
Red top. You lost me. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I'll give you a hint. She was in your film. Now. Okay. Well, we'll look at it and see. So that was a lot. We didn't even talk about your film Persuasive, which we saw Ernest Thomas in. Oh my God. He said, "How you think I feel?"
Man.
He just
shut that up.
One line, and that you just knew. You just knew he was a star just from one line. Well, now Persuasive, we didn't talk about. What was that movie about?
I shot that in one day. That was during the time where it was the George Floyd and all that stuff. And I was like, if we had a seat at the table, when the police brutality and all that stuff was going on.
Right.
That was just my take on it for a minute.
Okay.
So I was like, if we had a seat at the table, maybe we can make changes. That's what they usually say.
Yeah.
So I shot that in one day and put it in the festivals, and it just started going like wildfires. Like I couldn't believe it. Like Ernie was like, "What's going on?" He just kept getting official selection. I was just like, "Wow!" It did it for like a long run for a couple months. So I was thankful. I think it won like 3 awards or something like that, 3 or 4, and then it just ran official selections of so many. I
just love your ability to shoot like a whole project in one day. I hate, I'm a producer on many different films. I used to work on a lot of feature films, but it takes forever. And I said, no more. So now I will only be a producer on a short film or something where they can actually, or a Christmas film. I'll do features with Christmas. I'm obsessed with Christmas, working with a wonderful mother and daughter team who wrote and filmed their very first film, #Blessed, a couple years ago. And now I'm producer on a new Christmas film, which we haven't started shooting yet. It's called The Christmas Witch. But those are the only 2 feature-length films. Christmas, that's it. But I like shorts, and I like people who can knock them out in one day. And every time I talk to you, you tell me you shot this in a day. You shot this in a weekend. And then you go on to win multiple film festival awards. And you see all these other people shooting 6 months a year for a short film. And I'm like, why? Why does it need to take so long?
No. For me personally,
what is your secret? There are so many people watching this who are aspiring screenwriters and directors and producers. They want to know, how does J. Ryder Ward rock out a film in one day and have it win multiple awards? How do you do it?
For me, and it could be just bias is not the word, but because I write a lot of my stuff that I shoot, I know it frontwards and backwards. So it's easy for me to just go out and shoot because I already know what the next scene is. Another thing I've learned for me, and this doesn't work in a lot of situations, I used to be an actor back in Detroit and I did plays. So I'm used to doing stuff in order. When you do a play, you do the opening, then you do the middle, and the third. Yeah. So that's the way I do my projects. I try my best to stick to shooting in that format. So it gives the actors the time to build into their emotions. Another thing is, my actors are always prepared. When they're prepared and know their lines, it's easy. It's so much easier when everybody know what they're supposed to do. Come in with your game face. Don't get me wrong, we have a ball on my sets. Like, I'm very loose, and as a collaborator. Like, for me, I never over direct. Like, for me, I tell actors, let me see what you got first. Let's shoot it. You got the material. I trust you. Let's see. We already talked about it. I film it. And if I need to make a change, I will. If I don't need to make a change, I'm good. That's the way I approach it. Some directors want to, they very micromanage every little nook and cranny. I'm not like that. I love every person on my set is a stone on my foundation, and they keep helping me build my house. Like I wrote the script, great, and then the actors that come and they bring their flavor. Then the DP add his. Oh, I think the lighting should be this way, and I'm like, and if I like it, yeah, let me see what you got. And I love the collaboration. I don't like to be like, oh, it has to be blue sky, and like some people are like that. I've never been that type. So
you okay. So what do you have your own equipment or do you rent it? And if so, what do you recommend for a first time?
It's twofold with that. For me, I just got recently I just got a Blackmagic 6K Pro. I love it. I got my own sound Zoom F8, got a boom. I got some lavaliers, got lights. You can get all this stuff over Amazon basically now. I mean, I got all of that. Before I had a Canon 5 Mark 8 5D, and I had a Canon Rebel that I shot on before. So it's like, to me, it's not the equipment. It's the person behind the equipment. It don't matter what you got. You can make it happen.
Yeah, that's true. You can shoot with a damn iPhone these days.
And I think a lot of creatives, they get in their head about that. Like, I need this crane. I know you don't. Stand up on the ladder and hold your camera a certain way. You want an overhead shot? I'll figure it out. Stand up on the table. Get you a milk crate. Stand on. Right. You want to do a tracking shot? Go to like a what is it called? Like a thrift store. See if they got like a wheelchair. Have somebody pull you. Yeah. So it's all these little tricks you could do where you're not spending your whole life, savings on trying to get a film done.
Oh
There's so many tricks I had.
You just gave the best tip. I have never heard that in the 20 plus years I've been doing this show. No one has ever offered that piece of advice, that tip. What a great idea. Instead of having that, what is that called with the track where you have to run
the dolly. The dolly.
Yeah.
You don't need a dolly.
Sit in a wheelchair and have somebody push you. Oh my God.
And if you don't have a wheelchair, you can even get an office chair. They got wheels.
Yes.
The only thing is, unless you're trying to do a shaky footage, make sure it's on a smooth surface. That's it.
Oh my God.
Clear the area. Get your little broom and dustpan, make your little trail, and then you follow. Or whatever you want to do. More
of that. What else do you have? I like the ladder. You see how to put in the ladder. What else?
I like to cheat a lot. Like, even when it comes to different camera angles, I cheat. Like, I may be because a lot of the stuff I filmed in my own apartment or wherever we had or somebody's backyard. And some lenses, you see everything. Sometimes you got to get a little intimate. Another thing I love to do, my little claim to fame for me, is I love dirty screens. Because when you look through the human eye, it's always something in your vision. So it may be a cool shot and you may see something a little bit in there, just not overtaking the scene, but just something there. And it's like, oh, it's cool. To me, it adds depth. That's just my perception of it. To me, it adds depth. It's clean the way it's done. It may be a flower or something overhanging the shoulder, or however you want to do it. It's like it's so many. And my thing is, I love eyes. I never was a fan of this. I used to do the close-up song. I hate it. I hate that shot. I'm not a fan of the super extreme. Some people do that, the super extreme close-up. I like 3/4, shoulder up. Those are my prime spots where I can still get the action. Now, if I'm doing action, it's a different story. Then, of course, you want the whole body. You want to see the motion. That's different. Or if you're doing an action scene with a gun, it's ways that you do it. But for me, it's like I like to keep it intimate because to me, it's like that's when you draw people in, except for when it's the extreme. See, that scares me when I'm looking up people's nose and stuff. I'm like, And again, I don't know if this is a minority thing. I'm just putting this out there. Yeah. But some of us minorities, we got a thing called space. And some people like to be here, and we like, just give me a little space. You don't got to be all up in my face. And that's the way I approach the camera, because I don't want somebody in my face like that. So I make sure my depth of my frame is that way too. So I feel comfortable looking. So it's more for me, sorry. But it's more for me looking at it than anybody else. I
Yeah.
feel comfortable looking at that,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
kind of feel the same thing. I don't want to be. So you ever see when they get those close shots and you got the
Yeah.
pores and we're talking A-list celebrities and the
Yeah.
camera comes in and we don't want to see our A-list celebrities with those
No.
big ass pores on their
No.
face and like
No.
pimples and wrinkles.
And
And no, we don't want it.
And a quick actor tip from me. This is my, and again, I had actors that won awards, so take it how you want it. But for me, and even coming from an acting background, the eyes. I don't care. You could be doing Shakespeare. It's articulate. It's coming out flowing. It's very fluid. This means nothing to me. I look here first.
Eyes.
If your eyes are lying to me, I don't care what's coming out your mouth. So every audition, because I had to hire and audition everybody for my film, the first thing I look at is the eyes. Then I look at the performance. I go up, then I go down.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about the words.
Yeah.
You can always make somebody say the words a certain way. You know, that's easy. But I got to believe you. And if I'm looking at you, your eyes are dead, but you're making all these emotions, but your eyes dry. It means, you know what I'm saying? They do it all the time. And it's like, I don't believe you. I just don't believe you. Give it to me here. Focus here. Yeah. And then you develop. Because sometimes it's like, take your time with the words too. Don't just, you blurring it out because you want to say your lines.
Yeah.
To me, I'm not going to say everybody's different, but for me, tell me the story with your eyes first.
Yeah.
Let me feel you. Let me care about whatever it is you're trying to present to me. Right. And then when I hear the words, it's like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Now, if somebody wanted to, say, hire you to direct, they wrote the project, whether it's a short, and they wanted to hire you, what would be something, say you're a very new screenwriter and someone's like, okay, well, I wrote something and I want you to direct it and I want to shoot it in one day. What do I need from you to be able to make sure that we can shoot it in one day? What would you tell them?
See, now you're going outside the box. Number one, you got to have a budget. I can't work for free. Just like, hey, I got a family.
But
you know
listen, this is a first-time person who doesn't know that. So I'm trying to think about how a first-time person, they would ask you something and they wouldn't even know that they need a budget. They wouldn't even know that. So you're telling them, okay, you got to have a budget. So
that's kind of hard for me because I feel like in anything in life, you should educate yourself, no matter what it is. And if you're coming to me that green, you're not serious. I'm sorry. That's just me. So I wouldn't want to waste my time with somebody like that. Like, you didn't need to do your research to know how much it's going to cost to do matter. Because again, that short could be a Marvel film that we cannot even shoot. You got to know what you can, you know what I'm saying? You got to know what you can present and shoot. If you come to me like that, then it's like dialogue is always like good. Yeah. Where you may take a chance, like, okay, I know you don't got a budget, but this is dope. And or you may be like, I don't have this, but I got X, Y, and Z I can bring to the table. Oh, we can always do the barter and trade. You know, you always got to do some exterior. And that's the thing. This is a business. It's go beyond those pages. Okay. You got to think beyond that if you want, or you shoot it yourself.
Okay.
If you bring other people into your world, that's when it's a different ball game. When you're dealing with friends and family yourself, you can do whatever you want. But if you bring in other people, you got to make sure you got your stuff together.
Okay. So our first piece of advice is save up your money so that you have a budget. And if you don't know how to figure that out, then
no, scratch that. No, you didn't say that correct. No, the thing is, educate yourself first. And just say you got a short. And if that person, the newbie, came to me, hey, Jay, I got this single location. It's just in a restaurant scene. Okay, that seems cool. Let's see what it's about. Single location. We just in one spot. It's one camera. You could probably get two if you want it. If you didn't want to move your camera around. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could think about that. You know, just know exactly what your project is. Even if you're a newbie and you don't even have $1. This you come across it, then I can explain to you, okay, well, this is how you can approach this. Do you got a cell phone? Do a friend of yours have a camera? Okay, do you got lighting? You could get a light from Home Depot. You know those little spotlights? You don't need a film camera. You could go. It's so many. It's 1,001 ways to get stuff done now.
Yeah.
That's why I said if somebody come to me that green, you're not trying to do
Yeah,
this. You
because
just somebody who, I just want to be a director, whatever. You're like, no.
right,
Put it like this. You have to do the work.
you
That's
do.
me. If you do the work and you can have $0 to your name, but you did the work and you come to me and your script is done, and I was like, Jay, this location, I will talk to you. We will figure it out. I would love to help you because then I don't have to sit back and think about everything for you.
Yeah.
And this is your project that you didn't even do nothing for. Like, come on.
That's right. Yeah. And there
know?
are so many people who don't understand that. And then you think, well, if you really wanted to do it, everything's available to you. You can watch how to make a film on YouTube. So many people have done films on, okay, you do this first and that first and this first, but it never fails, James. Never
Persuasive.
fails. People will ask
persuasive.
you simple questions like that.
You know, Persuasive. That short film that won awards. I shot it for $500, and that's only because I rented the police car. You see what I'm saying?
How did you rent a police car for under?
It's just
what?
It's I again, y'all need me to produce. I make magic. People, I can move mountains. You want me to produce your project? I got you. I could figure out so many things. I'm good at producing.
That's right. Producing.
I could produce.
What if they wanted you to produce and direct and be the screenwriter?
It depends on what that end check look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole lot of work. It depends on what's in it. Again, I have a family. This is not a hobby for me. I'm like, hey, this is my career.
Right.
So I got a different approach. I mean, if I was doing it for myself, if I wrote it myself and doing it's different. But if you asking me, then you got to take care of me so I can take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? So
give you some coin. Now, what do you think are three? Okay, no, I'm going to ask this question. Okay, if you're not sure, and a lot of people send me this question, I've had it for years. If you're not sure if you want to be a screenwriter or a director, what are some clues, both internal and external, that might help a person decide? Like sometimes you think, I really want to be a screenwriter, but then you think, I want to be a screenwriter, but then I want to direct it because then I'll be able to do it exactly the way I see it in my mind. But then I don't really want to direct it. So a lot of people are conflicted about that. How do you know if you want to just be one or the other or to be able to do both?
All right. These are my personal opinions. Number one, as a screenwriter, you have to not be afraid of rewriting.
Okay.
If you could rewrite a script, because again, this happened in television, I saw it. You could write a script and the script is getting written 4 or 5 different times. If you could do that and still love that script, you're a screenwriter. If you look at the character and instead of you, if you don't have that on you and you actually like, oh, that's cool. And you actually, and every time you write, it progresses instead of regressing. Because what happens is when you don't love something, and we all do, you get lazy with it. And if you do your draft and then you do the next draft, but it's nowhere near as good because you don't care. If you're doing that, you don't need to write. If you don't like to read books, you don't need to write. You know, you don't got to be the most articulate. Look at me. You don't got to be the most articulate person in the world to be a screenwriter. But you better know how to read and write. You better know how to read a book. You better know how to understand words and how they act. You know what I'm saying? I may not pronounce the words correctly, but I know a dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to have those elements. And for me as a director, if you love visuals, that's in my world. If you just love how to frame things, like even when you're taking a family photo and you're making sure, you're saying over here, that's directing. If you don't think about it, it's really directing. You're directing the frame. If you're really good at that and you love it, you could be a director because that's all you're doing. It's framing shots to fit inside that little window, that little square. And you're making the best little square ever that can't nobody else do, or that you hope people replicate. And you got just like they call it the close-up shot is called the Spielberg shot, where he goes real close on the people's eyes. That's his shot. Or if you do the Spike Lee shot, where the actor be standing and they be rolling around like everything is passing by them. Like everybody got their signature shot that they love. If you're doing something like that, then you were born to direct. If you're doing the stuff with the writing and you writing and you like, and as a writer too, because I go through this, it's times when I don't feel like writing, but for some reason, I always get an idea in my head about, let me go get a pad and pen. It's like I have to create every day. Even if it's just half of a script, a page, whatever it is, I have to do something or I don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just me as a creative. And again, everybody else have their own zhish, I guess, of how they deal with things. But for me, it's like, I got to create something every day. I'm always looking at something like, how can I film that? How can I do this? Like, how can I make this happen? If I was directing this episode, what I would have done differently. If I wrote this, how would I would have wrote it? Because you got the Soderberghs, you have Ben Watkins. Like these are, and again, Ben is like my mentors right there. To see his writing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
To watch the words, and it's Sam Erst and all these other, and Jim Dunn, and looking at their work and just seeing and like, oh my God, I got to step my game up. And to me, it's not a competition, but it makes you want to, you fight. Because I'm looking at how they're making the words so elegant, how they throw the line, like, ooh, let me do that. And they're teaching you how to shorten things, like when you do a script. Because I'm a very visual writer from directing, so when I write, it's like this. Because it's very visual. And they're like, okay, shorten it out. Put in a couple sentences now, exactly how you did it, which is hard to condense that because I'm very big. I write like a book where you in the moment. Sometimes scripts, if you've seen, they're very stripped. In the kitchen, that's it. In the kitchen.
That's what I want to talk to you about. Real quick, a resource from you. Now, back in the day, I want to know if this is still relevant. Back in the day, it was the absolute Bible that if you were a screenwriter, you had to write with final draft. Like the studios wouldn't even accept any scripts if they weren't written in final draft. But a lot of people could not buy it because it was $800, $900, almost $1,000. Now, I do understand that the price has come down significantly now. But my question is final draft the absolute software that you need to be a screenwriter so that, because it has pre-formats, so explain that. Do you write in final draft?
Everything is subjective. So it depends on where you're coming from because I can't do it. Some people could do it from scratch, like do the margins and all that. That's when you're doing the other. But final draft is easier for me. When we did the show, we shot it in final, we wrote it in final draft. I've seen final, like, honestly, that's all I've seen people out here use is final draft. I haven't seen, I think it's one called Celtics that's a freebie, or Microsoft has one, or I think it's one called it's another one I can't think of off the top of my head, but because I started doing that since I've been out here, final draft, I stick with it, and it's easy for me to do, and I know where everything goes. And so again, working on this show, final draft, and now it's cheaper, but it is expensive. Still, even though it's cheaper, it's still expensive. I think it's like $200 or $300 now, or something like that, for you to get it.
And is there still where you need to get upgrades?
Yeah, but you don't have to, but they do upgrade. Like I think I'm on 12 and now they on 13, like that. So they will upgrade. You don't always have to because you can still use it. So you're just writing and doing the formatting. So you could get it. For me personally, because it helps with structure. Some of us don't know how to write structure in a film. I'm just being honest. You don't know how to do it. It helps teach you how to do structure from your slug lines, the character, and it formats it for you in the margins. You don't have to try to figure it out. Because I'm gonna tell you, if that was me, I lost. I can't do it. I just, that's something I can't do. I'm just gonna pretend. But if you could get final draft and it does it for you, more power to you. Please get it if you can. It's just so much easier. And again, invest. And just one key thing: invest in yourself. Think about it. If this is what you really want to do, you really want to be a screenwriter, you will spend $150 on a dinner with a girl. Or or you buying a video game. Or I'm just being honest, you buying a PS5. Yeah. We will spend money on some of the dumbest things in the world.
Yeah.
Except for what helps us. So invest in yourself. If you want to get the fun, if you need a camera, Get you a camera, get your iPhone, spend that $1,000 or $800, whatever it is that you was going to spend on something else anyway. Put it on, always, like I always say, bet on you. Bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to get the return because you are the ROI. You are it. You are the ROI. When you put that money down, you better make sure you get that money back.
Yeah.
So believe in yourself and do it. So
final draft is definitely something, if you're thinking about being a screenwriter, you absolutely have to have.
Do it.
As James said,
do it.
I don't know personally of any other software, but even when I bought it a long time ago, I could not figure it out. It was too hard. There was no tutorial. This was before YouTube. This was in the 90s. And it was so hard to figure out, and it was so frustrating. But I bet you now there's most likely tutorials on how to, how to do it, because it's so difficult for people who don't have that ability. So, okay, so what are 3 do's and don'ts of pursuing a career as a screenwriter and a director?
The don'ts is 3 don'ts. Don't give up.
3 do's and 3 don'ts.
I'm gonna start with the 3 don'ts first.
Okay.
Number 1, don't give up. Number 2, don't give up. Number 3, don't give up. If you stick to that, you're gonna win. That's it. Always stick to it, because again, you have to believe in yourself enough. Because think about it. Your dream only dies when you stop. That's it. Once you stop, the dream dies. If this is what you want, just don't give up. It ain't gonna happen overnight. For some people, it did. I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to get stuff done. But I know the one day I stopped is probably the one day I would have got that major opportunity. You know, so you just can't stop. And the 3 things you said, the do's. The do's is, like I said, invest in yourself. If you are a writer, write a script every day. Write something. Write shorts if you have to. Just write. Just constantly write when you wake up in the morning. And again, I always say, I don't have time. Make time. We make time for everything else. Just take out, and it doesn't take much to me. 5 minutes. Set a timer. Go sit in the corner. Write for 5 minutes and then be done. That's all you got to do. And then what happens is we got a thing called muscle memory. So what's going to happen is if you do it at a set time, you're just going to start automatically doing it without a timer because it's already built in. But you have to discipline yourself for that. If you're a director, shoot something. I don't care if it's a flower outside, you trailing the ants. Just shoot it. It's okay because you're learning. You're doing your craft. Just go out there. You don't always, everything doesn't have, to me, everything doesn't have to have a story as a director. Sometimes it's just a view. You want to do a pan and shot of the sunrise. That's not telling nothing, except for the sky's pretty. You know what I'm saying? I love the way the blues, the hue of the blue or the rainbow. Just shoot something. Just film it. Yeah. And then put it out online. But the thing is, don't just do static shots, though. Don't just have the camera record. Because then what you're doing is called a time lapse. We ain't trying to do a time lapse. Well, we want to try to move the camera just a little bit, just to give it a little light. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just let it do a pan and shot. Again, this stuff is it's so easy how to do this, you know?
We just got
it's not easy.
Wait, James, somebody said, I love how passionate you are about your work.
Oh, wow.
Dorothea Daniels. Do you know her?
I don't know. I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to say yes, and then it'd be like somebody I don't know, and they'd be like, I know JJ. Say no.
Well, if you don't know her, you know Dorothea Daniels now.
But thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was love.
Yeah, you do have. You're so. You have a great passion when you talk. I mean, everything is so vibrant and exciting. If I didn't know you, I'd say you were on crack. But you're not, because you don't do drugs, and I've known you long enough to know you don't. But it's that passion that you need when you talk about everything. Because if you don't have that, you shouldn't be in the entertainment industry, because it's all about
you gotta be
excitement and energy. You're not in the world of being a fiduciary. You're not an accountant.
No.
You're not a probate lawyer. You're entertainment. You need to entertain, and that has to be in every aspect of your being, including
You got
talking
to,
about it. So that
especially in
is
entertainment, man.
yeah,
Your heart, like I feel like if we don't love what we are, we supposed to entertain people, good or bad, if it's a horror, whatever. So we got to have that energy. If we're looking depressed, unless I'm doing a depressive movie, I shouldn't be looking sad while I'm getting an interview about, I just did this greatest comedy, and I'm like, oh well, you can't do that. You got to be
right.
like, I got this horror, it's scary, whatever vibe that project is. That's what I like to entail in every project I got. Everything I do, I put all my heart, my love into it. Again, even as a writer's PA, you can ask, I was the best. I got the garbage. I did whatever it took to do it. And I just, because number one, it did not define me.
Yeah.
That job, that title didn't define me, because I know I'm a writer director. I know I'm a creative, but that job got me in the room and in the door.
Right.
And somebody, you cannot be afraid to sweep the floor to get through the door. Please do not forget that.
I like that.
Sometimes you gotta start. You gotta start sometimes at that bottom.
I like
and I know
that.
you gotta start at that. Sidney Poitier, prime example. He was a janitor at the theater because he couldn't afford to pay, so he did trade off janitor for acting classes. One day, somebody couldn't perform, and they said Sidney know all the words, and Sidney got on stage, and now we all know who Sidney Poitier is.
Right.
So never be afraid of that, because the key is the hardest thing, and I need people to understand this. For me, the hardest thing about this business is getting in the door. It's like a family. I'm not gonna lie. It's a clique. It's so hard to get in.
Yeah.
So you figure out a way to get in. And then once you get in, you make those contacts and you do the work. You got to be prepared, and you got to have that work. You can't just be, I'm praying that you get in. Because when that opportunity comes and they say, yo, I need you to do this, you better know how to do it. Because as fast as you got in, it's as fast as you're going to get out.
That's
and it's so true. So you better be ready.
It is.
It's no joke.
That's right.
It's 1,000 of me out there, billions of me trying to do what I'm doing. So soon as I mess up or whatever, all right, next. In a heartbeat. They're not gonna worry about it,
Somebody be poisoning your ass.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
And that was the best. That was one of the best jobs I had, to write as PA. I'm on the TV, a show, a hit that's about to be a phenomenal worldwide show.
Yeah.
I'm in a room. I'm meeting everybody under the sun. I know the actors. I know everybody. I'm in a room. I'm watching how everything is structured. Again, that was the best crash course on earth. And then that opened up other opportunities. Now I met people. Now people like me and know me. So now people are like, hey, do this. Hey, do this. I got something for you. Come out, do this. So now that's what happened. For me, not being afraid to be like, okay, let me clean up this table while y'all working. And then I go, but then I sit down and go in a room and I'm learning. And they're like, well, Jay, you got any idea? Okay. I didn't know I had an opportunity. And because I did that, I heard up and said something. It probably wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But you got to be ready. You got to think.
You gotta do your homework. Now, what are some tips you could give aspiring directors about on the set etiquette? Because a lot of people, including actors, they do not know how to act on set. They are off in the corner gossiping. They're out around the corner firing up a pipe. They're doing all kinds of shit they shouldn't be doing. As a director, what don't you want to see on the set, and what do you want to see? For example, a director wants an actor to come on set and know their lines, period. So what else does a director want?
Always be prepared. Don't be the cancer on the set. Because everybody, to me, seriously, because everybody could complain at any job or any word you get. You got one person that always complains. Don't bring it on set. Because what happens is once one person starts and then it just starts trickling. Yeah. And again, a lot of that is your personal problem. It has nothing to do with nobody else, but because you're talking about it, now somebody else got a grievance about something else. And then it trickles out. Just keep that before you get on set, leave that at home.
How do you nip that in the bud? Like, I know you've experienced it. What do you do as a director to stop
For me, I don't know if it's my personality, my charisma. It's just, I guess it starts from the top down, is what they say. And you know how I am. I'm jovial. I'm very excited. And I make everybody feel comfortable, and they know how much I love my work. So they try to match my intensity and they go for it too. And I don't know if that's where it's from. So I really didn't have any problems in that because again, you lead by example. If I want you to be a certain way on set, I'm going to be that way.
Yeah.
If I want you to be a jerk, I'm not going to be a jerk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, because once I start doing that, then everybody else feel like they are entitled to be it too. Because it always happens.
Okay.
You know, well, he did it, I could do it. You know, like it's always that. So you do the reverse of that.
Okay.
You know, like we about to go, we're going to go. And it works. Again, everybody loves to be, whether we want to say it or not, everybody loves to be happy. Everybody loves to be celebrated for their work. Like when you're doing that and people are so happy, again, like, man, oh man, thank you so much. Oh, grip guy, I'm so proud of you. That's how I talk to everybody. I don't just stick to the actors. Or, you know, I'm a director, I only talk to my DP. And no, I talk to everybody on set and I treat everybody the same way. And so that energy just transforms because everybody know Jay, everybody come talk to Jay. Jay gonna talk to everybody. I'll go up to you again. You could be the janitor. Hey, how your day going? You all right, bro? That's just me. You know, coming up from my family, I was raised that way. My grandmother, all of them raised me that way. So that's the way I act. So I bring that to my set.
What else would you
Oh, you already said be prepared. Be prepared. Yeah, another thing is, it's two folds to being prepared. Number one is know your lines.
Yeah.
Number two is don't be afraid to lose those lines. You know what I'm saying? Like as an actor, be prepared to improv. Don't get too married. Even as an actor, and I did this back in the day too. We get married to, we rehearse in the mirror and we try to do it the exact same way. But then, you know, but the camera only see you this way. So now your body is moving. Now you all in your head. Because now you're like, well, that's not the way I rehearsed it. Never get married to you just rehearse, believe in the character. Once you got the character, the rest gonna come naturally. Because then it ain't gonna be your body moving. Now it's the character body moving. Right. You know, you probably didn't see yourself sitting like this. But the character sat like this. You know what I'm saying? You may not thought you was gonna be like this, like all up in it. But the character did. Don't be afraid of that. Don't try to direct yourself and force yourself to do something. Unless, again, if it's a technical thing of a camera has to be a certain way of lighting and we got to move you, that's a different story, you know. But other than that, just be prepared and don't be afraid to lose those lines. Wow. You know, just want to, you know,
great tip. Now, what is on the horizon for J. Ryder Ward? What's going on?
Number one, I'm going to say this because, you know, one day and in the near future, I will be an Emmy-nominated television director. That's going to happen. I'm telling you that.
Okay.
That's happening. Stuff is in the works. I'm laying my path. And the path is being laid. It's laid in gold and platinum. So, no, but the path is laid, and then I'm gonna have an amazing career, but it's due to the people in my camp. You can't do this alone. I got an amazing group of people that believe in me, and they just inspire me because I watch them and they believe in me. So my thing is, I don't want to let them down. So I'm gonna make sure I always do 1,000% because I know they believe in me and that's their word and they're speaking on my behalf. So television directing is one. I still want to direct film. So if y'all want to do that, I still want to do it. I got the family is going to come out soon. I'll give it a couple months because I still got to shoot it and edit it. The family reboot, which is going to be hilarious. That's coming out. What else?
Have you already cast for the you're using the same actors, right?
Yeah, that's basically the same one. So that one is already done. But I got a couple other stuff that I've written that I'm about to just go ahead and start shooting and stuff. And I may be doing
What you got? Give us a little teaser.
So, you know, I got this. This one I did enter it. I wrote it. It's dope. It's based on. Okay, you know how women's rights are being removed, right? The abortion thing, right? So I did one on that. It's a thriller, but it's from a male perspective. That's the best way I can say it without giving out everything. It's a male perspective of how he has to deal with it. Because like right now, you know, they don't really touch on, like the men that are taking it away don't care. But you have men out here that really do care. You don't really hear their voices of why they care about that. Because you hear about, well, what if the wife is raped? What if or it's between her and the child and my wife is going to die. So I took all those elements and wrote my short. It's amazing. I love that short. That one gonna cost a little bit for me to shoot, so that's why I put that to the back burner. But it's written. But it's a very deep story from the male perspective of hurt and angst, dealing with the banned abortion and being in that situation with his wife. So,
that sounds interesting. I like that.
I send it to you. You can read it. It's very good. It's like, I love that one. And again, because of the climate that we in, it's great. And then to see a male perspective that's not the one saying, I'm taking your rights. You know, it ain't coming from that. We're not dealing with this. Is a man whose wife has to deal with this. And this is my wife. You know, like this affects me too.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to tell their voice. Because right now you don't hear that at all. It's always just the women or just that. But what about us? You know, we see it's certain things that happens in that hospital room where we may be where is the power of attorney? What if we in that position? Mm-hmm. And it's one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one or the other. What you gonna do?
That sounds like it would really be more of, look, I'm changing. Excuse me. That sounds to me, your description, that would be a great documentary.
That too.
I can see that being a great documentary, because you could have so many men that don't have a voice that would be lending their perspective to that whole world. Because I know
somebody interested in that. You know, just let's talk about that off camera, because that's something you really interested in.
I just thought that would be because I watch a ton of documentaries, and I'm always thinking this would be a great idea. That would be a great idea. And I'll think about it, and then maybe 5 years later, all of a sudden somebody does a documentary on it. And I think, damn, I should have done that when I had the idea.
Now we got to jump on it because we said it online. So now if we're going to do it.
We got to do that. We got to do it. I've never produced a documentary, and I've always wanted to because I watch a ton of them. I was fascinated. I started watching Masterpiece Public Access Television. I just found it the other day, and all of a sudden it said Alaska Indies. And I thought, what's that? So I went there, and they are like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And it's about all these cool careers that people have in Alaska. And I thought, wow. And they were done so beautifully. And they beginning, middle, and end, 4 minutes. And I thought, if somebody can do that, I can do that. But I was thinking, well, what would my subject be? And I've always been fascinated with the male perspective, because I always hear, I have more male friends than female. I get along better with males than females. So I have lots of male friends who always say, why does the woman always get the rights to the child? Why does and there's been all these questions that they've been asking for years. And I thought, there's no documentaries on that. There's no documentaries about, what the male is going through and what their rights should be and how there should be more rights. And so I always thought that would be a good subject matter. So when you said it, I immediately went back to that idea.
Okay. That's another project. That's cool.
That's a good idea, because, if you really feel strongly about that subject, which apparently you do, then you should do a documentary. And how many documentaries have you done? This might be your first one.
I haven't done none. This would be, if this could pull off, this would be my first one. I never done a doc before. So.
That would be good. But
you know what? I take that back. I did do one, but I was a cameraman. It was nothing I never done myself. I did camera. I got hired to do camera on that.
You just reminded me. I did a documentary, but I didn't do anything with it. I did it because I was obsessed with dogs and dog shows, and I used to watch them on TV. So I took Albert, just me and Albert. He was the cameraman, and we shot it on the iPhone. And I went to a dog show where they were grooming the dogs, and I got all this great footage where they were singing to the dogs. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. And they had all these people that were insane over their dogs. So I asked them if I could interview them and their dog, and they all let me do it. And I still have that footage, and my intention was to turn it into a documentary. And you know what happened? The movie came out. What was that movie, James, with the dog show? It became huge, where it was about all these obsessive people who love their dogs, and they enter them in dog show competitions. I think it was called Great Show. Anyway, it came out after I had the idea. It was like an A-list show, A-list television. No, it was a feature film. And I thought, God, if only I would have completed that project, but I let it go. So any ideas that you have, try to shoot them, even if it's in a rough format. That's my tip.
Got you.
To the people.
I was going to say that too. It doesn't have to be perfect, like in this world. Like your stuff doesn't have to be. Again, a story is a story. As long as it tells a beginning, middle, or an end, it doesn't matter if your lighting is off or that. As long as you got characters people care about and you shoot it, you're good.
Yeah.
So good.
And I always think, and I thought, there was another idea that I had that I wanted to do about a casting couch, because I thought, well, what would it be like to shoot the life of casting directors and what their real thoughts are on bringing the actors in, like a casting couch situation, right? But so I approached all these casting directors, and I asked them if they wanted to do it, but these were A-list casting directors, and of course they're not going to want to do it because
they're not going to tell you.
People to know.
Yeah.
But I thought, darn. So then I said, well, I'm going to have to create an imaginary world where they're not real casting directors. But then I asked them if they would just give me some ideas of what they say about actors. Nope, not having that. So that was an idea that I wanted to do. So I'm always thinking of ideas of stuff I want to do. But my obsession is Christmas movies. So as I've told you several times, I wish that you had an obsession for Christmas like I do, because you and I would pump out a Christmas short. I have so many ideas for little shorts, but none that I'm so excited about that I go, oh my God, I got to shoot it next weekend. And I think, like, you have so much passion. When you have an idea, you're like, oh my God, I got to do it. And then you do it. I'm waiting for that to click in my head, because if I don't really feel excited like you are, then I really shouldn't waste my time doing it. Right?
It's a difference. It's a difference, because you'll come up with the idea, but then you got to hire everybody to formulate it.
Yeah.
The difference is, if I come up with an idea, I just grab my camera, boom, and just call. And just that's the only difference, That's
so. What is my title? Am I idea man? Person, right? I don't want to be I want to be the idea person, and then I guess I'll hire the people to do it, but then I want to do it. But then if you don't have the skill set to do it, you shouldn't do it. So it's weird, right? You're lucky. You said, how is it that we got switched?
I noticed that. I thought I was high for a minute. I didn't want to say that.
Well, now my logo isn't showing. Oh, it's over here. I wanted to be on this side. Well, James, I'm going to tell you. I know. I think that we should have been on these sides. These are. Oh, Alice Davis said, "Great interview." Can you see those comments?
Yeah. Now that woman I know. That's my auntie. So that's my aunt.
Ah, your auntie. Is she in Detroit? Is she in Detroit or?
No, she lives in Michigan. Correct. Yes.
She's
Yes.
in Michigan. Look at you with all
Yeah.
your fans out there. Oh, Nicole.
Oh, that's a cousin.
Nicole
That's my
Copeland,
cousin
I'm so
Nikki.
proud of you for following your dreams. Oh,
Nikki is out of all of us, she's the oldest. I'm the second oldest. That me and her like this growing up. That's my dog.
Oh, look at somebody else. Goddess J530 said, "Love you, cuz."
That's a cousin. That's a cousin. Hey, I'm gonna just let you know now. I got a huge family, so if you want to log off quick,
keep them coming. Keep
it's
them
gonna be like
coming.
100 names.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Tisha, I think this is your girl. I think the blonde was in the proof of concept for payment received.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, listen. That girl, because I know who you talk about now in the red shirt. I just had auditions at some place I found because I wanted to do a proof of concept before I shot the feature film. Payment receipts. I want to do a proof of concept, and I hired her. She was really. I don't remember her name, but she was great.
See, I know her
She
face
did a good
because
job.
I've seen her on television or in film.
Oh wow!
So if we knew her name, that would be great because
I have no idea.
You were in my film. I'm already thinking about having her on the radio show. Oh, you were in my friend J. Ryder Ward's. I'm already thinking of her.
I don't know.
God, hopefully somebody will remember who she
I'm
was.
gonna have to look through like an old email or something like that. And that's another cousin, Larry. Big L.
Yo! Wow! You're like part of the Beverly Hills.
Hey,
Hillbillies, the Beverly Hillbillies with all the crew coming.
My family were good at doing offspringing.
That is so nice of them to be writing in and being supportive.
My family's huge. I got a very big family.
I know you said you have a sister, right? Do you have
Yes, I have no brothers, just a sister.
Just a sister, but lots of cousins apparently.
Oh man, a lot of cousins, cousins and cousins.
Is anyone else?
Aunties, uncles.
Is anyone else in your family in the entertainment industry?
Yes, my cousin Jessica. My cousin Jessica's an actress. She was in she did an episode it's killing me. It was on Hulu. She's a good actress.
Somewhere.
Her name is Jessica Sardé Ward, and she's in all my stuff too. She's a great actress. She's in the family. She's an amazing actress, so she's good.
Is she out here in LA?
Yeah, she lives not too far from us now.
Oh my God!
So,
we got ourselves another actress. We gotta build our cast. Keep our cast close. So we are hoping to see a credit for you on Cross. And when is that coming out? So we can look for that.
Oh, I'm not gonna be in the credit for this one. So that one is coming out.
We'll watch it and say we know you. You were in the writer's room.
Just still again, watch the show. The show was fun. This mark my words. Cross is gonna be the #1 show on Amazon. Watch for 3 years straight. #1 show.
You didn't tell us what it was about.
It's about Alex Cross, the detective. He was played by Morgan Freeman. It's about this. He's a psychological detective. He uses his brain a lot. He's very good at breaking people down using psychology. It's great. Ooh. And it's starring Aldous Hodge, Isaiah Mustafa, Johnny Ray Gill, Alana Thau, Ashley. Sorry, Ashley, I forgot her last name. But they are this cast is phenomenal and fire. The crew is phenomenal and fire. Like I said, it got picked up before it even got released. They already gave it that's the part I worked on as a writer's PA the second season because it's so good. And trust me, when you watch Cross, it's going to change your life.
And do you know what date it's coming on?
No, that I do not know. I just know it's in later on this year, towards the end of the year. The first season of Cross will be out. The second season, the one I was a PA on, that ain't coming out until, like I said, 25, 26 maybe. If it comes out any sooner, great. And hopefully, because I got these antennas out later. Like it's gonna be a season 3, 4, whatever. And hopefully around one of those, I would definitely have a credit as a director. That's my goal. So
Oh my God.
right now, I'm trying to shadow a director right now. That's what I'm working on now. Shadowing a director on a series.
Oh,
So
on
if
a
you know any
series?
television directors, I want to shadow. So just let them know. Call me up. I want to shadow.
I have tons of friends who direct on network television, and I've asked that before, and here's what they said. It is such a process with the network because you actually have to be vetted, and then you got to go in for an interview, and then you got to sign this NDA, and then you got to do this. You got to go through 3 interviews like you were going for a damn job. And then you got to go through a security check. Then you got to go through a psychological profile, all to do that. And I'm like, why?
You got to get blood on. And on Saturdays, you got to get your blood. I'm just saying. So just get ready to give out the blood.
Yeah, because I've had so many people ask that, and I've asked my friends who are directors on network television shows, and they told me the process, and I said, oh my God. So... But we'll definitely keep you in mind. We got to hook you up with my friend Mary Lou. As a matter of the problem with Mary Lou is she's a director, so if we have any projects, she's going to want to direct and you're going to want to direct. So you have to battle it out.
No. I can write. We can work together. I'm a writer and producer. So if I need to produce on the Mary Lou or write, hey, I'm multifaceted. Whatever check is going to get cut, I'm there. You want me to produce? I'm there. You want me to write? I'm there. I'm good.
You are so flexible. And that is a key that we will leave you with a tip. Please be flexible, like James. You're willing to jump in and do whatever it takes to get the job done, because that's who people want to work. They don't.
If you get a second season, you get a job. You get a third season, you got a job because you already did the work. So do the work.
You did it. All right. So let me just tell you, our upcoming guests for June are Karina Farah. She is an A-list casting director. We got her coming in June. We have Tara Bennett Smith, who will be coming on. She is a Broadway performer, multiple Tony Award-winning Broadway performer. We have Lisa Danielle Rachuba, who was a professional wrestler. I have never had a female professional wrestler on my show ever. And let's see what else, my guests. Okay, so we've got Nana Ashurst. She is the founder of Def Jam. Was that rap or was that hip hop?
Yeah, that was more hip hop and rap. Yeah, Def Jam.
Okay, so she's coming on in July. She's coming on in July. We have Ashley Bowers, another. I'm doing Broadway. I'm getting more into the Broadway. Okay. And then we have an international professional, multiple award-winning wrestler, Carol Ann Kaufman, coming on in July. And then we have Crystal Starnes, who is a podcast producer for victim advocates. And that is going to be part of the hashtag Me Too movement that we were talking about. So people, you want to tune in. And speaking of tuning in, of course, you want to check out J. Ryder Ward. You can go to imdb.com, right? And what are your social medias that they can follow you, James?
Everything is at J, just the letter, Ryder, WRITER, WARD, at J. Ryder Ward. You can find me across all of that.
All social media platforms. There you go. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much. I wish we could siphon off your energy and give it to the world because I think everybody needs to have your energy level. Everybody needs to be more excited about life or their life. No matter if it seems like the more of the upper echelon that you get to, it seems like a psychic vampire has drained their energy. I know so many people who are in such high positions in the world, and they're so tired, James. It's so tired.
It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. So
but if we
they got to deal with a lot. So
yeah, if we could maintain your energy and be up in the upper echelon arena, that would be the dream. So please promise us when you are at Steven Spielberg status, you're still going to have that level of energy, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I already said I'm never going to change. I love this. I love film. I love television. Like this is my drug. Like I don't need the marijuana, all this. This is my drug. You want to see me high, put me on set. And that's like my energy. I'm in heaven.
You are a little, what is that called? A Duracell battery buddy rabbit.
Exactly. Energizer.
Energizer Buzzy. Yes, Energizer Buddy. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. Send me those pictures of Ernest and I. And we got to work together in the future. We got to.
Yeah.
We got to do something that we can shoot in one day.
Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm the king of that. Whatever you need. I want to get one shout out. It's my cousin Rodney. Today was his birth. I don't know if it's still his born day. It's 9 o'clock here, but happy day, brother. That's my cousin, man. I love that dude.
Let's sing him happy birthday. What's his name? Rodney?
I can't sing Rodney.
Happy birthday to you. Woo, woo. Happy birthday to you. Ha, ha. Happy birthday, dear
Rodney.
Happy birthday to you and many more. That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you.
Check out JamesIMDb.com and on all the social media platforms. Did I say that? J. Ryder Ward. I gotta say it, J. Ryder Ward. Okay, everybody.
You keep calling me my government name.
I don't know why. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And we'll see you next time on Question Reality. Say goodbye to your fans.
Bye. It was fun. Everybody have a great night.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.